Tomorrow, the Sunday session takes you around the sporting universe from 1:30 after Millwall Leeds at the Den is live on Talksport 2. We've got Monday Night Football and the return of the Champions League next week. Why would you want anything else? Download our Talksport app. You can access Talksport, Talksport 2, Talk TV. You can also listen to Virgin Radio, where Chris Evans wakes you up at breakfast and Graham Norton entertains you at the weekend. But we're here live at Molineux with the home team shooting from right to left in the first half, and Liverpool all in red with thick white trim attacking the goal away to our right-hand side behind the Sir Jack Hayward stand. And I'm alongside the Arsenal and England legend Martin Keown. How important is it for Liverpool to start the season as they mean to go on and banish this 12:30 hoodoo?
Well, they started the season reasonably well, haven't they? Of course, that draw at Chelsea, ever since they've gone three games with 3 wins. So, yeah, it's been a good start. But I think it's important that they demonstrate today that they are championship material. So now they're just keeping the ball at the back. You expect the young man coming into that defence. Look at Gomez already. He's just stepped into midfield, so he will just play that role of Alexander-Arnold. Will he play it as well? I'm not so certain, but nonetheless, it's the same makeup for this Liverpool team today.
Here is Bellegarde getting his first touch and darting down the left-hand side, midway inside the Liverpool half, squeezing between a tight gap and bursting towards the edge of the penalty area. Left 2 defenders for dead, produces a cross, is blocked by Matip, and it's out for the first corner of the game. It was a terrific run by the new signing, Jean-Rignard Bellegarde, picked up for £12.8 million from Strasbourg.
A little bit too easy for him there, the way he ghosted past that Liverpool midfield, but Matip was there to leave the danger.
First corner of the game is a Liverpool corner, who made a quick start against Villa 2 weeks ago. And Wolves having to try to create something here right from the very beginning. And Liverpool having to defend as Neto delivers the ball in towards the near post. It's flicked on by Kilman. Comes through towards the edge of the 18-yard box, recycled by Semedo, and then Aït-Nouri from the centre circle sends it back down the left for Neto to chase. Szoboszlai tries to keep with him and does well enough just to edge the ball out of play and away for a goal kick away to our left. But the first corner of the game, a Wolves one, the first real bolt of electricity coming from a Wolves player, and the perfect start for the new signing Jean-Rignard Bellegarde on his debut.
Yeah, it looked very promising. He's just playing as a withdrawn striker, so it looks like Cunha's playing down the middle, and then Neto will take to the left-hand side and Wang on the right. So yeah, it's got a familiar look about it.
Matip, who's playing as one of the centre-halves on the right of the centre-halves, with Kansar as the left centre-half, the young 20-year-old, who I spoke to Joey Barton briefly before kick-off about him. He had him at Bristol Rovers last season. He says he's got a good future in him. He's a fighter. He can dig in when the going gets tough.
He looks nice in possession, that's for sure.
Played the ball out towards the left. It's Jones now for Liverpool on halfway. Nudged in field, and McAllister picks it up, plays it into the centre circle, wide by Gomez, who is coming into midfield. It's played out wide by Salah, and then Szoboszlai plays it into the 18-yard box. And I just wonder, Martin, if there was an out-and-out number 9 darting into that penalty area, whether they might have got on the end of that. Well, slightly withdrawn Jota and Gakpo there.
Yeah, but in the build-up, Gakpo comes quite deep. And then he's got a bit of ground to make up, and it wasn't the best of balls in there from Szoboszlai. It's got to be a ball, more awareness, I believe, he needs from that pass.
Well, the 2-11s, Jose Sarr in goal for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Their back four is Semedo, Dawson, Kilman and Aït-Nouri. Lamina and Gomez, the two holders in midfield, with Bellegarde playing as a 10. Behind Cunha, Neto and Hwang on the flanks. For Liverpool, Alisson is their goalkeeper. The back four is Gomez, Jarell Kansar, Joel Matip and Andy Robertson, and they've got work to do now as Cunha picks the ball up and runs forward. He's held back by McAllister, who drags him back as he charges to the edge of the penalty area, and the first yellow card of the game is dished out by Michael Oliver, the referee, after dragging back Matthias Cunha, who turns round and goes to the end away to our left, the Stan Cullis stand, and says, you know, let's get behind the team here, and they respond with voluminous applause. And it's the first free kick and a good start from Wolverhampton Wanderers, Martin.
Yeah, and again, it's that Cunha, isn't it? Incredible pace that he has on the counter-attack. McAllister giving the ball away cheaply, and he's very direct, Cunha. He's a very exciting player, likes to run at people, and the arm definitely came out.
Neto to take this free kick then, 7-8 yards back from the edge of the penalty area, just slightly to the left. He plays it short to Bellegarde, who changes the angle, delivers a cross, headed away by Szoboszlai. Back into the middle of the Liverpool half, and Aït-Nouri recycles it to Semedo, who started the season brightly actually down that right, and he's got the ball again after an interchange with Cunha, weaves his way to the edge of the penalty area brilliantly, low ball into the near post looking for Hwang, it's cleared away by Matip, breaks to the right, and Wolves in possession and putting pressure on Liverpool in the early exchanges here, live on Talksport. We played 5 minutes, that move just peters out as Hwang tries to go down the right, just lacked a little bit of quality at the vital moment, and it's out for a goal kick away to our left hand side. 0-0.
Very good work, Sam, there from Semedo on that right hand side, and the fans here seem quite infused by that. I was talking to a fan today on that train journey, managed to speak to somebody.
Were you on a train?
And he said, you know what, it's not great right now at Molineux, and we don't hold out much for this season, but no, at the start of this game reasonably well.
They have indeed. 0-0 the score.
Did I mention I was on a train today?
I think you did. Did you go in the first class section, or was it overcrowded?
No, not allowed. Budget doesn't stretch that far.
Wolverhampton Wanderers only had 5 days to adjust to Gary O'Neill's methods before they went to Old Trafford, and gave Manchester United a proper game with defensive deficiencies. One moment of switching off cost them in that match, and a lack of help from the VAR. Here is McAllister for Liverpool. Moving forward now on the right is Salah. Salah attacking the fullback Aït-Nouri, who does well. Takes the ball off the Egyptian and then plays it towards the near touchline before giving it to Lamina. Into Bellegarde and then back to Kilman. Kilman under pressure from Jones, clips the ball out to the right side. Semedo, wearing pink boots in the right fullback position, has now got to get out of a tight spot here, and Jones has gone over, put pressure on him and managed to win the ball back. Gakpo tries to turn inside the box after the throw comes in his way. It's cleared away by Wolves, and then Cunha sweeps it wide, and Neto's got it and a chance to run at Joe Gomez. He bounds down the left side. He's created 3 of the 4 goals they've scored so far. He moves into the box, takes on 2 defenders, beats a third, pulls the ball through the 6-yard box, comes through to Hang, and it's there! And Wolverhampton Wanderers take the lead after just 6.5 minutes. Pedro Neto creating again. The Liverpool defence couldn't keep it out. Hwang's shot went straight to the middle of the goal, and Alisson carried it over the line. And Wolverhampton Wanderers lead by a goal to 0. And it's the perfect start for Gary O'Neill and his new charges against Liverpool. Wolves made a quick start against them last time they were here at Molineux, and they've made another terrific beginning of this game too.
Well, you have to credit Neto, the way that he runs at this Liverpool defence. They sit off him, they give him far too much space, and he gets to the byline and he cuts it back, and Hwang just tucks it in at that far post underneath the body of Alisson. But it's the directness of Neto. He just skips past Matip, who can't make a challenge. He doesn't want to give a penalty away, and it really is a counter-attacking football at its highest. But Neto, his little bit of brilliance, his determination, and then the quality of his cross was outstanding.
Well, to go with that good performance at United, Wolves went to Goodison, produced a smash and grab way. They thrashed Blackpool and were full of confidence at that part of the season before they were unsettled a little bit by their game against Crystal Palace. But this is the perfect response. And Hwang, I did mention to you earlier on, has goals in him.
You did. But you know what's interesting watching Liverpool there, because they look really good in the press, and then when they gave the ball away, they just, in the transition, they don't get back into position quick enough. Here's another example.
Were you surprised by the ease with which Pedro Neto slalomed between the right centre-back and the centre-half?
I was. And Gomez as well. Look, he's a player who's equipped with pace, but you've got to be aggressive. You've got to get tighter to people. And I know he's switching from a right-back to a midfield berth, and on this occasion he was really high up the pitch. But nonetheless, he should be doing better than that.
Well, Liverpool really don't like the early starts, and they're getting a wake-up call here. 9 minutes gone, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Liverpool 0, live on Talksport. And here is Semedo once again over the halfway line, bounding forward at a rapid pace, and he has got pace to burn. He's a really aggressive right fullback, and he started the season in promising form. Guides it back to Dawson, and then it's into João Gomez, who's good with his feet.
Did well there, didn't he? He was being put under pressure, and he just steps past the challenge.
Semedo helps it on. Hwang joins, plays it on. Semedo joins. He's in behind, delivers across. Neto is there, and Joe Gomez has to come across and cover, because it's another big chance for Wolverhampton Wanderers. We've only played 10 minutes. That right side, particularly productive. Hwang and Semedo combining well, got the better of the defender. The cross was pinpoint from the right side from Semedo, and it was only the timely intervention of Joe Gomez that spared the Liverpool blushes.
Well, it was, and he didn't really deal with that well. Liverpool giving the ball away here far too much right now.
Neto into Hwang, who's 10 yards outside the penalty area on the right-hand side, attacking the Liverpool goal. It's picked up by Semedo, who moves up to the edge of the box, across into the area, looking for Bellegarde with a diving header. It just eludes him. Flashes through the 18-yard box, comes back to Ait-Nouri. Liverpool got a problem here. It's picked up by Cunha, down towards the byline. Back to Ait-Nouri, and then on the edge of the penalty area it's with Lamina, who tries to send it down towards the edge of the 6-yard box, but it's cleared away by Joe Gomez, and then they've given it away again, Liverpool. There's too many turnovers here. Lamina trying to get the cross in. It's a low one into the near post. It's away by the defender, and then given away again. Gomez,
he's asleep.
Back into the centre it goes, looking for Kilman. Gakpo tries to wriggle free. Kilman putting pressure on him. This is so high up inside Liverpool territory. And then as they look to escape, Szoboszlai commits a foul, but Wolves are allowed to play on because they got the ball anyway. Martin Keown.
Yeah, this really good intensity from Wolves here. They're just turning the screw, and they've started this game way better than Liverpool. Gomez, an example, just on his heels, not reacting. There's no urgency with this Liverpool team right now.
Robertson just getting in front of Semedo down that right-hand side as the crossfield ball was played from left to right, looking to attack once again Wolverhampton Wanderers. And boy, if they attacked in the opening 10 minutes of this game. Wolverhampton Wanderers leading through a goal from Hwang after 11 minutes, his third goal of the season. He is full of industry, and he has been having some effect this campaign. He scored off the bench against Palace and Brighton in recent weeks. He had a strong end to last season with 3 goals in his final 10 appearances, and it's not the first time he has scored against Liverpool. He scored for Salzburg in the Champions League against them a few years ago. And this is the perfect way to start the resumption of the Premier League season, and what a big day it is up and down the Premier League. We'll keep you in touch with it on Talksport. 2:30, Adrian Durham takes you round the grounds, and we've got live commentary of Manchester United and their latest struggles against Brighton. And that kicks off at 3 o'clock over on Talksport 2.
Just need to sharpen up Liverpool in their play now. Klopp's just putting a message in or two. OK, it's one thing about tactics, but it's another, isn't it, about starting the game in the right mode, the right mindset. Mind you, the amount of quality Liverpool have on the pitch, Wolves have to play this way, otherwise, in a moment, Liverpool will hurt you.
There is the lingering smoke of the pyrotechnics just cloaking the Molineux ground, which is full to brimming once again, as you would expect. Joel Matip takes the ball out of defence. No Van Dijk today, no Ibrahima Kamate from the start. He's only on the bench. No Trent Alexander-Arnold for Liverpool. And they aren't the only ones with South Americans, by the way, that have come back from international duty. Matheus Cunha was away with Brazil. Ball out wide towards the right. Salah plays it down the right side, looking for the run of Cody Gakpo, who keeps the ball in just about, finds Salah, who's crossed into the box, finds its way to Diogo Jota, and the former Wolverhampton Wanderers player swivels and hits the ball high into the Sir Jack Hayward stand behind the goal away to our right, much to the glee of the fans that used to adore him.
Yeah, it was just a half chance. He tries to spin on it, Jota. Salah finds him, and it's Norrie that gives the ball away, taking liberties, and you can't afford to do that against Liverpool.
There is a vibrancy and there has been a resilience about Liverpool again. The start of the season has followed on from a strong end to last campaign. They did very well coming back from a deficit against Newcastle United in their last away game. And they are behind again here, and they're going to have to find a way back into this game. But Szoboszlai has given the ball away rather cheaply. Robertson had to come to his rescue. Lamina's picked it up again for Wolves, and they move it down the left. And 14 minutes into the game, and there is a dominant force in this match, and it's not Liverpool. Bellegarde taking it down towards the corner flag. Tries to take on Gomez, who struggled a little bit. He puts it out for a corner.
He's got some really nice touches, hasn't he, Bellegarde? You know, the way that he changes the ball there from his right foot to his left foot, really tricky.
He's played under your mate, Patrick Vieira, recently, and he started the season very well under him at Strasbourg with 2 goals and 2 assists.
I did read that in the notes, and surprised me there. Patrick would have sold him under protest there.
£12.8 million, though, has been garnered for Strasbourg. Corner kick on this near side to be taken by Pedro Neto of Wolverhampton Wanderers. A left-footed delivery. It's towards the penalty spot. The header is by Lamina into the air, and then it's misdirected and picked up by Alisson, who's clad in black today. He immediately bowls it out towards the far side. A chance for Liverpool to counter-attack, and Salah's made a dart in behind the defence, but he's gone a bit early, and Robertson maybe just took a little bit too long to release him, and it's out of play on the far side. Liverpool get it moving again. Back with Jones. 15 gone. 1-0 the score. You're listening to Talksport, and we're live with Sam Matterface, with Martin Keown at the home of Wolves, Molineux. And Gakpo is looking for the ball in the centre, trying to get on the end of a touch pass from Diogo Jota, but it was inaccurate. And as he span into the box there, Gakpo, he tried to get on the end of that little nudge from Diogo Jota.
Sam, that would have been a really clever goal, wouldn't it, if it had come off? But I think maybe he didn't quite pass it properly. Jota coming into that middle. They're sort of dovetailing, really, Gakpo and him. So sometimes you'll see Gakpo down the middle, as he is now, and then it'll be Jota. So still really building new partnerships and relationships, Liverpool, at the top of their team.
A bit like Wolverhampton Wanderers, both of them in a new era, really. Gary O'Neill only stepping in a couple of days before the start of the campaign. Liverpool having to change the bulk of their midfield during the summer. Some of those signings didn't get in till very late. You look at Gravenberch, who only came in on the final day. And there's still a little bit of settling down in the Premier League to be done, but Liverpool will be pleased that they settled down in the Premier League with 10 points from 12. What they won't be pleased about is the way they've started this game. 16 gone, they trail by a goal to nil, live on Talksport. And Wolverhampton Wanderers largely have taken the game to Liverpool at this moment in time, and Neto's been a real outlet on this left-hand side, created the goal for Hwang. He's holding off Gomez now and causing him trouble. Gomez has come away with the ball.
Yeah, because he got tight, Sam. Gomez. You can't give a player like Neto that kind of space. You've got to compete, and he should have been doing that from the opening exchanges.
Scores Wolves 1, Liverpool 0 on Talksport with Now. And don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action, like Newcastle versus Brentford, live today for $11.99. No contract. Search Now Sports. St Johnstone 0, Rangers 0 is the latest score in Scotland. Rangers really do desperately need a victory. There's a bit of pressure on Mick Beale, the manager of Rangers. And the one area that Liverpool have got to improve is their away form, Martin. In truth, it was shocking last year, failing to win 13 Premier League road games.
Yeah, what was it, 8 defeats? It's really not good enough. It's not Klopp-like, is it? Just play off an energy. So it's really surprising that they go behind. It's not the first time this season they've gone a goal behind early on. And
it was a habit last season.
Yeah, and he's a real motivator. You'd expect him to come out of that dressing room flying.
Matip strides over halfway, plays the ball down the right for Liverpool. It's a couple of steps in from the right touchline, and Joe Gomez plays it against Neto, does the dirty work going back the way as well. And it's out for a throw-in on this near side. 1-0 to Wolverhampton Wanderers on Talksport, with Gomez at the possession of the football, perpendicular towards the edge of the 18-yard box, attacking the goal away to our right. He tosses it back into the path of Jarell Quansah, making his first Premier League start. Comfortable on the ball, has a little bit of trick with the ball, just rolls it under his studs and hops backwards as he gets himself into a position to distribute. He plays it into midfield, and Dominic Szoboszlai, who then swings the ball out towards the far side. It's taken down by Andy Robertson, and he nudges it infield, finds Diogo Jota. Jota back to Robertson again. Robertson steps into midfield, finds Szoboszlai, and then it's up towards McAllister, who's robbed. Good tackle that by João Gomez, who nudged it into the path of Bellegarde, and the attack is on now, and they scamper forward at pace, Wolves, and then Szoboszlai commits himself. Neto goes past him, gets the ball on the edge of the box, right foot is shot in towards the near post, trying to take advantage of Alisson going the wrong way. He missed the target, but Szoboszlai completely missed the ball as Neto tried to take him on. Szoboszlai went steaming in the right fullback position. Neto put the ball beyond him and then fashioned a chance.
Yeah, a bit greedy at the end of that, but look, it comes from, again, really compact, edge of their own box, counter-attacking play, and Neto ends up with a strike at goal. And it's a little bit worrying from a Liverpool point of view of how you lose the ball there cheaply in this midfield. It's not really functioning correctly right now. And then they go all the way to the other end and nearly score again.
Well, there was a lot of talk in the build-up to this game about the style that Gary O'Neill would look to impress on his team. But I suppose, A, they're very much a work in progress. B, at Bournemouth, he would quite happily adapt his setup to counteract the opponent. he seems to have got his tactics thus far spot on.
And I'm impressed. And it looks as if they're really compact. And this is a manager, what is he, just 40, 50 matches as a manager up against a manager with over 1,000 games to his name. So, you know, he's making a good account of it early on here.
And he seems to have impressed some of the local journalists. He was brilliant when he was on the Saturday session with Alex Crook and Scott Minto last weekend, detailing his plans for the football club. And he has settled in rather nicely, and Wolves have settled into this game rather nicely. They lead Liverpool by 1-0 live on Talksport. 20 minutes played. Here is Joel Matip of Liverpool. Infield to Joe Gomez, who's wandered into midfield again. Everyone behind the ball in old gold and black, very well structured as the ball goes wide right towards Salah, who looks to take on Aït-Nouri, another one who's had a good start to the season. Clips the ball long, Aït-Nouri, up towards Cunha, and there was no one behind him to flick the ball onto, and Liverpool have it back again.
They're getting Nouri to get as tight as he can to Salah. Look, giving it again. They're giving the ball away too much here, Liverpool.
Yeah, Szoboszlai the guilty party on that occasion, under pressure from Matthias Cunha. And then they've won it again through João Gomez, who's been quite bright in the middle of the park, and Liverpool are struggling to keep hold of the ball. Hwang's got it on halfway for Wolverhampton Wanderers, who lead here. Back to Craig Dawson and Max Kilman, who will have competition now that they've signed Santiago Bueno.
You feel them growing in confidence right now, Wolves.
Hwang turns away from Jota and plays it out wide towards the right. Semedo keeps hold of it well. Gary O'Neill was jumping up and down like a jack out of a box on the near touchline inside the technical area, wearing a Wolves tracksuit. Fired into him, Nelson Semedo by Craig Dawson. Back to Hwang far side. They want to switch the play towards this near side. Not enough Wolves bodies on this near touchline, according to Gary O'Neill. He was screaming at Bellegarde to get over towards this near touchline, and he's getting the information onto the new signing.
He's very animated, isn't he, Gary O'Neill? And do you know what? His team's playing really well, and he wants them to switch it. And actually, he's a little bit anxious, and sometimes that can find its way to the players. So he just needs to calm down a little bit.
These managers, they do get a little bit animated. Some of them get animated, and some of them just stand and stare, like Jurgen Klopp does in the warm-up. Martin Keown was watching that with intent. He said if he'd got too close to me, I would have kicked the ball at him.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty certain someone like Paul Scholes would have done.
Here's Szoboszlai down the right-hand side, playing the ball square to the edge of the penalty area. Jones wasn't switched on. Semedo nipped in, took it away for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and then tried to send Cunha down the right-hand side. But Liverpool a little bit casual so far, Martin.
They are. And do you know what? It's really impressive the way that Wolves are actually sending players in. Semedo there was so confident, wasn't he? He was under pressure, let the ball roll across him, just shimmied it out, did a little bit of an early pass to Cunha that was intercepted, but straight away then Gomez is following up to win the tackle.
Did get outsmarted by Tyreek Mitchell just the once in the game against Crystal Palace, but it ended up being enough.
Well, they signed him from Barcelona, for goodness sake, so you know there's good players here.
It's taken a while for him to settle, but he's definitely started the season relatively well. He is a forward-thinking right back, and he started this match well too. Neto, as the ball's been won by Lamina in midfield, a little turn away from Szoboszlai, and then the ball goes back in field. Liverpool have got possession with McAllister, who tries to push it forward. He's the deepest lying of all the midfielders, McAllister. I'm not entirely sure, Martin, that he is comfortable playing that position. That's not his usual role.
He'll play anywhere, Sam. Whether it's the best role, not quite so sure. I think he'd be probably better higher up in that midfield and that somebody else sits deep. But right now it seems that Liverpool are perplexed. They don't really know where to go. They're trying to force it through the middle of the pitch where Wolves are really strong. Look at this situation now. They're just staying compact, hardly any distance between the lines, and they can't get people in. Look, and then they lose the ball again.
It's almost like a 4-4-2, isn't it, with Bellegarde and Cunha playing as the first line of defence.
They've got the free kick there, though, so they might be able to do something from this. But I think they'd be better off going wider. They need to get the ball certainly more to Salah.
Jarell Quansah just moving up in towards the edge of the penalty area now. The free kick has been left. It's about 9 yards in front of the edge of the centre circle, dead centre. Robertson and Szoboszlai are standing over it. Jones is the furthest man back. Sean Derry comes out, the assistant to Gary O'Neill, just to hand over a few specific duties at set pieces. And this free kick by Szoboszlai is launched into the box, clipped towards the far post. It's headed away by Kilman, and then a bit of hesitation between Bellegarde and Aït-Nouri, but Bellegarde gets it clear, and Aït-Nouri just sort of spoons it into the air. A bit of a mistake by him, and it goes out for a throw-in down in front of us.
And Norrie needs to just do a little bit better, because that's a wild clearance, and then suddenly the nerves start to creep in. Liverpool are starting to build a little bit here. They're setting their stall out, trying to pass the ball, trying to find a way through this really dogged Wolves team.
Wolverhampton Wanderers will expect Liverpool to have a spell. Gary O'Neill, well versed in getting 1-0 victories over Liverpool. He was one of those who inflicted a 12-30 defeat on them last year when he was at Bournemouth. And that is the scoreline at this moment in time. It's also Rangers who have taken the lead at McDiarmid Park. And they lead by a goal to nil. And Liverpool on the attack. Gomez in towards the near post. A flick off the defender. Goes into the sky and it's caught by Jose Sarr away to our right-hand side. Wolves 1, Liverpool 0 on Talksport with Super 6. And predict the 6 correct scores from this weekend's action and you could win £250,000 without spending a penny. That Rangers goal coming from Danilo, by the way. And Wolverhampton Wanderers goal coming from Hwang. Here is Gomez. Infield it goes to McAllister and then back all the way to Jarell Quansah.
Just a point there, Sam, to make. Cunha playing as a centre forward. The ball's just gone into him there and he just lost it really very cheaply. Now we know that he's a counter-attacking player, but nonetheless you're going to have to build from him on occasions, and Gary O'Neill will need to be in his ear to say, look, hold on to that ball better for us, because otherwise we're just under the cosh again.
1-0 to Wolves. Ball played down the left channel for Liverpool, and they're on the attack here with Jota, who's low ball into the box. He's dealt with by Aït-Nouri, who felt the hot breath of Mo Salah on his shoulders, and the two ran back towards the Wolves goal, and on the edge of the 6-yard box he cleared it into the Sir Jack Hayward stand, which rakes up into the sky away to our right hand side.
Yeah, Salah for me, he's just too far away. He doesn't react quick enough. It's an easy ball for Norrie to deal with, but Salah's got to get in there at that back post.
Corner kick taken in front of the Wolves fans away to our right by Andrew Robertson, who had an interesting international break. The Scotland captain. Left-footed ball in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by Dawson. Good, powerful, towering header from Dawson, and a mistake by McAllister, and Neto has picked it off and he's charging forward. Szoboszlai is chasing him. He's into the box now. He's held him off brilliantly. He's kept hold of the ball, and eventually McAllister gets back and commits and wins the ball before Neto commits a foul on the way out. But it was brilliant play by Neto to drag his team up the park. If he'd just had that little bit extra bit of composure, there were two players arriving at rapid speed.
It was, but another mistake from McAllister. You know, you didn't see him do this in a Brighton jersey. Maybe he hasn't got the options. Maybe he's not moving the ball quick enough, but he can't. These are basics. McAllister knows now. He's already been booked there, and I wondered if he was going to try and bring his man down, which he didn't do, of course.
And he was sent off earlier in the season. That red card was rescinded, though, wasn't it? The game against Bournemouth. But he is already on a yellow card here. Szoboszlai has got himself into another tight spot, and Wolves have nabbed the ball again. And Bellegarde now charging forward. He's gone past McAllister, and there's space wide on the left for Pedro Neto, who moves towards the edge of the box. He's spotted Hwang at the far post, who's chested the ball down, tried to go round Quansah, but across comes Robertson and puts it out, and it's away for a corner. And Wolves really putting the pressure on Liverpool in the opening half an hour here.
Sam, that's embarrassing. That really is, from a Liverpool point of view. Their midfield, no options, running into trouble, and it's just the same again. They really haven't got the options on the ball today. They're playing Gomez as a conventional right back. He's not going into midfield, and they don't seem to have that extra body. Without Alexander-Arnold, they don't have a player in there with the range of passes.
Well, he started off wandering into midfield, but I think he got caught too many times by Neto, so decided against it now.
Exactly.
Corner on the far side to be taken by the aforementioned Pedro Neto, who swings the ball in left-footed towards the near post. Getting up at the back post was Dawson, as the ball went past the front post and towards the middle of the goal, unchallenged. It was cleared by Liverpool, and then upfield it goes to Jose Sarr, who's very good at commanding his penalty area and the quick release as well. Holds on to it a little bit longer on this occasion, so Dawson can get back. And then they'll look to build from the back once again. It's Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Liverpool 0. You're listening to Talksport live at Molineux on a Saturday of Premier League football, which is going to be compelling, no doubt about it. West Ham Man City as well today. Adrian will present the programme from 2:30 from there, taking you round the grounds. Meanwhile, on Talksport 2, Manchester United take on Brighton in what is going to be a fascinating fixture with Ian Danter and Perry Groves. That game kicks off at 3 o'clock. Here, Wolverhampton Wanderers lead against Liverpool, and Semedo is bounding down the right side. Once again, he's found Cunha, edge of the area. Bellegarde should have hit it, backheeled it to a teammate that was invisible.
Well, all around me, there's Wolves fans shouting, hit it, and he should have done. They're trying to be too clever, wasn't he? For some reason, he's tried like a Cruyff flick to another player when he should just hit that.
Bellegarde went towards the ball, should have smashed it into the net, decided to try and backheel it to Neto, thinking that he was directly behind him. He wasn't, and the ball was cleared. Look at the space over on the far side for Semedo as Wolves come forward again. He's been found by João Gomez into the area, looking for Cunha. Not a great delivery by Semedo on this occasion. Tucked behind, away for another corner, and Liverpool have got serious problems here. Their midfield looks ragged. They're being played through far too easily. The defence doesn't look in the best of shape. They're getting dragged out of position, and Wolves are taking full advantage.
We were watching the warm-up, weren't we? And Gomez looked a really good passer. This time it's a lovely diagonal pass out to Semedo, who's just galloping forward at will whenever he wants to.
Ian Danter sent me a text message actually in the week saying that he was here for the Wolves 3 Liverpool 0 game last year, and he rarely has ever seen a Liverpool team perform without the intensity, the lack of intensity they showed that day. Well, today's another example of that, I think, as the corner comes in and is headed behind by Craig Dawson.
Yeah, and that's another weakness, it looks like, because Dawson gets his head on that, and that might be an opportunity. And if they score from a corner here today, Wolves, I won't be surprised, because there's really good quality on the ball, and Dawson looks really dangerous.
Craig Dawson has got a habit of scoring against Liverpool. He's done it with 3 clubs, West Bromwich Albion, West Ham and Wolverhampton Wanderers. He's a real threat from set pieces. He's got 20 goals in his career. 14 of them, it won't surprise you, have been...
Sam, this is a big moment in the game now, because you know where they're trying to play through midfield, and if you think a Pep will just be pleading, class the ball without any pressure, suddenly it's like, who wants the ball now from a Liverpool point of view?
And Jota has got it over on the far side. He's turned under pressure from Semedo and gone back to Robertson. Midway inside the Wolverhampton half, wide on the left-hand side. Jota's got it again, plays it infield. Now it's picked up by McAllister, who spins the ball into the box, looking for the run of Salah, coming in off the right flank. Sarr grabs it, anticipated the delivery, read it perfectly, caught it well, and will dispatch upfield. It remains 1-0 to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And Gary O'Neill, who saw his team had a manic end to the transfer window. They lost Matthias Nunez right at the very end to Manchester City. They brought in 2 central midfielders in Tommy Doyle and Jean-Ric Bellegarde from Strasbourg, and he's had a really bright start, the latter of those 2. Tommy Doyle on the bench today. Lamina, who's done brilliantly, has robbed Jota, and he sent the ball out towards this left-hand side, and Ryan Aït-Nouri, who's moved up towards halfway. Wide on the left, a couple of inches from the touchline is Neto, and then back to Ryan Aït-Nouri, who plays it towards halfway. Liverpool have got back in shape now. There is space on the far side once again for Semedo, and the ball eventually comes to him via João Gomez, who's very good at just picking that pass first time. No pressure too great for him. He thrives under it. Dawson has switched the play from right side to left, looking for Neto. He's chested it down, taking it brilliantly. He's beaten Gomez with a lovely trick into the area. Left footed cross. Cunha is there. Should have scored. Hit his body. Mistimed his jump. And it was really clumsy from Cunha in the end. But a great chance crafted by Neto once more. Liverpool look to sprint forward. Jota rushes the pass. There's going to be a yellow card here because he was fouled as he released it. And Dawson's going to get penalised by Michael Oliver, but what a chance for Cunha at the other end. A delicious delivery from Pedro Neto. After taking the ball out of the sky, he tricked his way past Gomez with simplicity, delivered a lovely cross, and then he just got caught in 2 minds, Cunha. Should I head it? Should I kick it? In the end, he let it hit his belly.
Do you know, it's just bizarre, because I'm not sure what was in his mind, and it kind of goes with his head, but it hits him on his chest, in his midriff. So he's just completely... His anticipation is all wrong there, Cunha. Obviously not a proper centre-forward, and there lies the problem here for Wolves, because they should be 2-0 up. Neto, I mean, it's a 40-yard diagonal ball from Dawson. He takes it on his chest. A little nutmeg, by the way, draws Gomez in, beautiful. And then the weight of pass is perfect. It's begging to be put in the back of the net and it's missed.
10 minutes to go before half-time. Wolves are only leading by a goal to nil, but it arguably could be 3, Martin, when you think of Bellegarde's opportunity, which he... Oh, and they've got a chance here, and Cunha's shot from halfway because he thought that Alisson was off his line. He picked the ball up after a mistake and he spotted his international colleague well out of his goal, but he didn't have the execution.
No, and it's McAllister again. And this is a World Cup winner who's giving the ball away time and time again. Gomez is in that central position now. Klopp's pushed him in there. He wants the extra bodies in that midfield.
So 3 big chances, 1 taken so far by Wolverhampton Wanderers. They lead by a goal to nil. I don't think Jose Sá has had to make a save yet. Here's Goda Gakpo moving up towards the edge of the Wolverhampton Wanderers penalty area. On the left is Curtis Jones, who lifts it into the box down the left side, looking for the run of Robertson. It's away by Lamina, who started the game well. He actually played very well for the large part of the game against Crystal Palace, but he did allow Eze to run off him a couple of times and Edouard to get past him right at the very end for the goals that clinched the game for Palace down at Selhurst Park. He'll have to concentrate for 90 minutes against this mob because Liverpool do have powers of recovery despite the fact that they haven't started this game particularly well.
No, and it's not, it's not clicking, it's not functioning. And this is almost as if they borrowed somebody else's ideas and they're trying to play this way, a bit like a City way, with Gomez going into midfield and everyone's taking too long in possession. And Wolves are just exploiting that. Tails are up, really confident, winning the ball, and it's just setting little traps and Liverpool falling into it.
Does it surprise you that a team would insist on playing this way when they haven't got the personnel to do so? I mean, it's not as if Gomez is, a regular starter. I know he's played a couple of times this season, but he's not been a regular starter over the last couple of years. But a regular starter that would move into a different hybrid position, that seems to be almost forcing the issue.
I do, and I think I'm worried about Gakpo as well, because I know what a wonderful talent he is. He keeps going. Look at him now, he's out on the right.
I was going to say, I didn't even know where he was there for a second.
He's the centre forward. Get in the middle. The basics are being ignored here. I know the modern game's changed.
Look at Hwang getting back into the right fullback position to hold off Jota, and then it's cleared by Dawson up towards Cunha. Quansah was being pulled by Cunha. The referee says play on. There is a problem over on the far side for Hwang Hee-chan, and Jota is just being looked at as a result of that. A crack on the back of the head there for Hwang Hee-chan. Sean Derry comes out, the game's been stopped, and Michael Oliver just checking on the prognosis of the South Korean international. It has been a difficult and unsettling start for Liverpool here at Wolverhampton Wanderers Molineux this afternoon. And it's not what they want, because they want to put points on the board, especially away from home where they were so fragile last season, especially in these 12:30 kickoffs, which seems to have a real problem for them, pose a real problem for them. And there's been more than 1 or 2 problems in this game. That midfield not quite clicking, the back 4, which has again had to change. And it was fascinating me when I was doing the research for the game, just looking at the previous matches that had been played, how many times Liverpool had to change that back line already this season. Here is McAllister.
The thing that's very obvious is this back line for Wolves has not been stretched at all.
Szoboszlai trying to stretch it now. Here's Gakpo inside the box, right-footed shot, free chance, and he's mishit it. Well, that was a great opportunity. They just dropped a little bit too deep there, the Wolverhampton Wanderers defence, and Gakpo, coming from a deeper position, just pulled off and was in the half space between the midfield and the defence. And as the ball flashed through the box, he was found perfectly by Robertson, but he couldn't execute the finish. He allowed it to come across his body, opened up his right foot, but it just skimmed off the top of it, and it's out of play and away.
Maybe
for a
should have gone with the laces there. It's quite a difficult opportunity for him, but it's just, when you look at the pace they've got at the top of the team, Salah, Gakpo, they're all coming to feet. One of those players has to try and stretch this Wolves defence. I mean, the 2 central defenders, you'd have to say Dawson, Gill and Kilman, they're not really blessed with pace.
Here is Max Kilman, back to Dawson. They might not be blessed with pace, but they are 2 good rugged defenders, aren't they, Kilman and Dawson? They've worked very, very hard. And Kilman, who's just signed a new 5-year contract at the club, is now the club captain of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Neto into Bellegarde, brilliant little swivel, goes past McAllister, plays it out to the left, and Neto now is racing through down the left-hand side into the penalty area. He's into the box, he produces a cross, they're overloaded with numbers. Bellegarde brings it down, tries to shoot, and he was stopped by McAllister from getting his shot out of his feet, and it's cleared away by Liverpool. But they are stretched, they are vulnerable, and they are being punished, and they've just been given a free kick just short of the halfway line, and they've been very fortunately given a free kick just short of the halfway line.
Well, it's going to sound like I'm digging out a player here, but I've just saw Gomez there, and I can tell you now, if that ball goes into Neto and I'm on that pitch in my heyday, I'm running back full tilt, and he's watching him run. Will I get away with this? Maybe he might pass it and I haven't got to run back. They're getting destroyed down this right-hand side by Neto right now.
5 minutes to go before half-time, and I bet Jurgen Klopp cannot wait for that half-time whistle to come, because his team have really struggled.
Well, it's his near side. He's stood there with his arms folded. He should be telling Gomez to work hard and work early.
Gomez has the ball on the right side for Liverpool, who trail here to that goal from Hwang after 11 minutes. Liverpool have succumbed to several chances for Wolves, and they're lucky only to be 1-0 down in the game. Gomez into a midfield position, finds McAllister. McAllister plays it out wide to Robertson. Robertson looks up, then plays it on to Diogo Jota. Well, the area that Jota was supposed to occupy, it went to Jones instead, who hasn't really had an impact on the game, really. The ball's been collected by Szoboszlai, whose delivery into the box is easily grasped by Jose Sarr, and it will be dispatched upfield by the Portuguese goalkeeper. 1-0. I mean, I don't know whether or not you think it's a sort of prudent way of operating when you're one of the smaller teams in the league, but Gary O'Neill is very adaptable with his tactics, and this idea of sort of changing it every time you come up against a team to get the best out of your team and try and nullify the best parts of the other, I think probably works for a team like Wolverhampton Wanderers, doesn't it? Rather than trying to impress a certain style.
It does, but I think they're trying to contain Liverpool, and they're doing that very well, and then they're counter-attacking, and you can hear every time there's a bit of joy, the fans are on it, tails are up. It'd be a bit different. It'd be interesting to see how do they go and dominate teams, without a centre forward, because you need to build off someone, and that is an area of concern.
Well, they have a goal in this game. The team who were the club with the least amount of goals last season. Here is Neto on the other side, down the left with a right-footed cross into the box, headed away. You do wonder how many deliveries it would take for them to get another goal if they had a proper centre forward, because Pedro Neto from those wide positions is just so productive. Aït-Nouri wins the ball from Jones, shrugs him aside, gets into a left wing position, plays it back to Cunha. Cunha turns, fires it centrally. Lamina, edge of the area, scoops it forward, overhit the ball and plays it behind and away for a goal kick. But again, they're fashioning opportunities, half chances, getting in on the edge of the penalty area, opening up the Liverpool defence, coming up with something which is testing, probing that Liverpool defence. And if Cunha had converted his chance and Bellegarde his, then we would be in a situation where this game would already be beyond Liverpool.
Yeah, we're just having another look at the Cunha effort, aren't we? And I think it's because it's just sort of like a chipped ball in. I think he's expecting something with more pace on it, if I can protect him a little bit, when he doesn't pick up the flight at all and then misses our golden opportunity.
Salah gives the ball away, and Neto's away again down the left-hand side, and Kansar's the only one back, and he's kept it in brilliantly. Neto down the left side, and Cunha's got into the penalty area. Robertson's had to come across from left back right towards this near side, down by the corner flag on the right to take the ball off of Cunha. It goes back towards Alisson, and he was under pressure from João Gomez, and he kicks it into the stand. They've come again, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Poor old Neto is absolutely cream crackered. He's done more running than most of the rest of the players on the pitch.
Well, he has. I mean, the amount of joy that he's getting. I mean, we've got some statistics at half-time, the amount of crosses, the amount of 1v1s. It's ridiculous.
Very impressive from Pedro Neto, who's had a really good start to this Premier League season. He went through a bit of a barren spell after his injuries. He didn't score or assist for a very, very long time. But I think he's 2 goals in his last 53 appearances. But he created the goal for Hwang against Palace, the goal for Kalajdzic against Everton. He has now got 4 assists from the 5 goals that they've scored in the Premier League this campaign. It's been a good start. And they lead by a goal to 0 here. His assist for Hwang's goal separates these two teams at Molineux. McAllister in midfield for Liverpool, moves up into the Wolves half, across from Gomez towards Gakpo, and the header was a good one, and it was unchallenged, and it went over the top of the crossbar.
Well, I have to say that was much better then from Gomez, because look, he'd done something positive, something direct. He whips that ball in. Gakpo can't find the target, but should do better with the header.
The wind is rustling around the press box here at Molineux in the Black Country. Scott Minto, by the way, sent me a text message at the Charlton game today. Said that it's boiling hot in London. Me and Martin had to put on an extra layer earlier.
I've got chilblains here. It's freezing.
Oh dear. That walk back to the station's going to be chilly for you, isn't it, eh?
Certainly is. Don't tell anyone. Mind you, I was just thinking I should have come by car, but the midfield is like Spaghetti Junction, isn't it, right now? Liverpool can't get through it.
Forward by Gakpo, cut out by Kilman, back to the left again where Neto is waiting for the ball, this time anticipated by Joel Matip. 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first 45, and Liverpool have possession on halfway with McAllister spread out towards the left, and Jota takes it down, moves up to the edge of the box. He takes on Hwang holds him off. The cross comes in from Robertson. It's a mistake by Jose Sarr. It's hit by Salah into a thick of bodies. Comes back to Szoboszlai. Stopped by Starr, who's come out to the edge of his 6-yard box and made a save. That was a little bit untidy from the Wolverhampton Wanderers defence. And that's always been my concern, actually, Martin, because although I've watched a lot of Wolves this season, I thought they'll always score goals because of the number of entries they make into opposition penalty areas, even if they don't have supreme talent at that end of the pitch. But they do get themselves into a pickle every now and again, and that certainly was the case there.
Yeah. I mean, Sarr makes an incredible save, but it's always a mistake initially from the cross. But look, Liverpool variation in their game there.
Cunha skating past two challenges, goes past Kansar, gets to the edge of the area, right-footed shot, balloons it. Should have passed it to Neto on the edge of the penalty area. It's over the crossbar. It's out for a goal kick. It's another great chance.
It is, but it kind of sums up Cunha, doesn't it? Great approach play. He looks really exciting, and then suddenly when he should pass it, he kind of trying to digs a shot out from an impossible angle.
Crikey,
and
that
it's
would
not
have
there.
been, what, the extra points for a conversion in rugby union, wouldn't it? That was right through the middle of the post.
It was a difficult one. But there was, just going back to the Liverpool chance, I think what they need to do in their build-up is to go wide with a longer pass. It's so condensed through the middle, and then come back into the middle, and then they can be successful.
Liverpool trail by 1-0 to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And Liverpool, remember, who last season failed to win 13 away games in the Premier League. Liverpool looking for a 4th win in a row prior to today. They want to keep pace with Manchester City, who go to West Ham later. They're 2 points off them after they dropped points in their first away game of the season at Stamford Bridge, and actually for large parts of that game they were outplayed by Chelsea. There's the half-time whistle, and that is what it sounds like at Molineux. Total glee and joy from this Molineux crowd. A really good first half from Gary O'Neill's team. Pedro Neto has been terrific. He provided the assist for Hwang's goal. And Wolverhampton Wanderers, who beat Liverpool in February here, are threatening to do so again. Analysis to come at half-time with Martin Keown at the break. It is Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Liverpool 0.
Thank you very much, Sam. I mean, what a 45 minutes of football for the Wolves fans to have witnessed there, Martin. They've been fully on top of this game.
They have, and all credit to them. Credit to their manager, the game plan, to sit sort of most of the game you're watching them sitting on the edge of their own box and then breaking with really good effect. Liverpool giving the ball away. I mean, McAllister is a wonderful talent. You just wonder, really, is he the right player to sit so deep? And there's no real variation. They keep going through the middle. Occasionally there's a ball that comes into the box from crosses. They've been effective when Wolves, some basics really, with the goalkeeper dropping across almost and then not dealing with things. But Neto on that left-hand side has been outstanding, taking the game to Gomez. Gomez just has a casualness in his performance, and it really has gone right through the team. And Liverpool, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that dressing room right now, because Jurgen Klopp must be going for it, because it's about wanting that more intensity, more desire. They don't strike me. They don't rock up here today like they're going to be Premier League champions anytime soon.
What does he need to do? Does he need to make changes? Because as you mentioned, they're being exposed. He's bringing Gomez still coming into this midfield role. It is not working. They're so exposed down their right-hand side. Neto is really exploiting them.
Yeah, but I mean, look, when obviously Gomez walks into midfield, but he's got to sprint back into position because they're trying to flood Wolves into that hole that he creates when he goes into midfield. But I just can't see. Gakpo is a player that wonderful talent, very quick, very strong. He's dropping so deep Firmino is that position that he used to take up, and that's what he's trying to do. But I think he should stay higher, particularly when you've got Gomez going into midfield. It's almost as if we're playing a hybrid of the old system and the new system, and Gakpo should stay higher up the pitch, pinning those defenders. The two central defenders today, Gilmour and Dawson, they've not been asked any questions at all. Nothing in behind, everything in front is far too easy right now for Wolves.
Yeah, you focused on Jurgen Klopp in the technical area. He was standing with his arms crossed, not really giving any instructions through a period of time. And actually, Danny Mills mentioned during the week that managers giving players excuses before the game has begun doesn't really help them in any way. And maybe with all the talk about the 12:30, does it feel as if Jurgen Klopp's maybe manifested that a little bit?
I don't think you can blame at the time of the game at all, really, because I mean it doesn't help, So that's gone now. You've started the match. It's the same, of course, for both teams. But Wolves have actually started here really well, and they've not imposed themselves. Liverpool, you have to play with an assurance, a knowingness that it's just a matter of time, and they've got really good front players, but they're not feeding them. Salah there's just gone off the pitch and he's throwing his arms around. Give me the ball, move it quicker, and it's just congested, and they're going through midfield and they don't have the answers right now.
No, they don't. They almost snuck themselves through. A little bit of a mix-up in the box defensively from a Wolves point of view, which we mentioned pre-match, it is an attribute of theirs at times, but they managed to smother it out and actually were helped a little bit by the fact that Liverpool seemingly don't know where the goal is at the moment.
Well, I must say there was a couple of outstanding blocks though in there, and then the goalkeeper Sarr makes a save with his left foot, which is top draw. You have to say, when it's a part of the equipment he can use to make a save, but he used his feet brilliantly, but he didn't use his hands quite so well from the initial cross.
Just quickly, Kuna and Bellegarde look great in the build-up play, not so great when they're getting into the box. Maybe some different decision making could make this a different scoreline. Yeah,
I mean, there's a wonderful build-up. You'll see it over the weekend on TV, and it's just a Dawson makes a lovely. I mean, so it looks like it's practiced. The touch then is sublime from Neto. He knocks it through Gomez's legs, comes out the other side. He pushes like it's a deft cross, like you just start a wedge. If you're playing golf, it's like a little wedge, onto the green back post. And I think Cunha's expecting a ball that's going to have pace on it, and he's in the air too soon. And in the end, the ball hits him in the midriff, and it's a golden opportunity for Wolves to have gone 2-0 up.
Yeah, looking good, Wolves in front of their home fans today, that's for sure. Let's see what they can do in the second half. And Liverpool going to get themselves back into it. By the way, in the Scottish Premiership, St Johnstone 0, Rangers 1 is the scoreline there. Danilo with his third goal of the season. This is Game Day exclusive on Talksport. Wolves well on top of this early kick-off at Molineux. A goal to the good against Liverpool thanks to Hwang Hee-chan's 7th minute strike. Second half action coming up next.
Game Day exclusive on Talksport with Now. Stream the Premier League live without a contract from $11.99. Search Now Sports. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
The Monopoly game is back at McDonald's. And guess what? It's still twice as nice. Because with Double Peel, you can peel on pack, then peel again on the McDonald's app to win prizes like brand new mini electrics, lovely McDonald's food, HP Omen gaming laptops, TUI holiday vouchers, £1,000 in cash, plus tons of other incredible prizes. 18 plus, UK only. Selected items subject to serving times and availability. End 17th of October. Gameplay and prize claims may require McDonald's app. See mcdrules.co.uk.
Screwfix Sprint delivers from store to door in 60 minutes or less. So, whatever the job, you can do it with less disruption and more action. Less time on the road and more time on the job. So don't break your stride. Screwfix Sprint. Order now exclusively on a Screwfix app. £5 delivery charge, no minimum spend. Don't stop. Sprint. Conditions and geographical restrictions apply. Selected products.
The football season is well and truly underway with Betfair. And if you're looking to get involved in all the action, then look no further. At Betfair, we've made it faster and easier to build your ACCA this football season. Celebrate this weekend with a completely free ACCA or Bet Builder on football. Betfair.
Opt-in and previous deposit required. Max free bet varies from £1 to £10 per customer. Minimum combined odds of 1.5. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Friend, for all of yourselves, we have all of your faves on Just Eat. From your wading through work self to your late night munchy self. Help those selves to a smooth Costa coffee latte, a perfect Domino's pepperoni passion, a freshly made Five Guys All-American cheeseburger, a classic Pizza Express American hot, and a delish McDonald's Big Mac. So take yourself from a 6 to a 9.9. We got it.
Did somebody say Just Eat?
Subject to availability and store opening times. Service charges and other charges apply. See justeat.co.uk for more details.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a treehouse in the garden.
I'm living my perfect childhood.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
The legendary White and Jordan. Weekday mornings from 10 on Talksport. We're at the heart of the action, but don't just take my word for it. Lawrence Okoli.
For the full 12 rounds, you have some aches and pains.
World Cup winner, Alexis McAllister.
Today we scored the goals that we missed.
When the big names talk, they talk to Jim White and Simon Jordan. Adam Azim.
The first time on Talksport, so thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
He's here. Eddie Hearn.
Delighted to be here today to deliver you astronomical numbers.
Lords of the Radio Manor.
Jim White and Simon Jordan.
Monday to Friday morning from 10 on Talksport.
Picked up, Fields lobs it down the right side to Mooney end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown Bears!
Good snap, looking to his left, looking was the ball toward the end zone, toward Evans. He makes the catch. Touchdown Tampa Bay. Mike Evans.
Brandon Ayuk! Touchdown! San Francisco!
Let's start the fire right now, baby!
It's a toss left to Akers. He'll go in untouched.
Stewart back to throw. Deep downfield, wide open, touchdown, Tyreek Hill!
Jones takes the snap, he's pressured, throws it left corner of the end zone, Henry, touchdown, Patriots!
The 2023 NFL season is off and underway, and Talksport 2 has 3 live commentaries for you tomorrow evening from 5 o'clock. Join Nat Coombs for all the build-up to the Bears taking on the Buccaneers, before later in the evening we bring you a huge clash on the West Coast as the 49ers face the Rams, and then we round it off with Sunday Night Football as the Dolphins take on the Patriots. You can listen to all 3 games on Talksport 2 tomorrow via DAB+, the Talksport app, or simply ask your smart speaker to play Talksport 2. This is Game Day exclusive on Talksport. I'm Faye Carruthers. Wolves a goal up against Liverpool here at Molineux. Could be more, to be honest. We'll see what Jurgen Klopp can do in the second half to get his Liverpool side back on track. But let's continue to look ahead to this weekend's Premier League action. First with Super 6.
The TalkSport Match Predictor with Super 6. Play for free. Predict 6 correct scores for the chance to win £250,000. Get your entries in by 3 p.m. today with Super 6. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
Gloves organised at Club Shop.
Martin Keown just asking me whether we're getting some gloves organised from the Wolves Club shop. It's so cold here at Molineux. But let's focus on the Super 6, shall we? Because each week we discuss the games that are featured within Super 6. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Super 6, it's a free-to-play football game where you can win huge jackpots through your own knowledge. Simply predict 6 correct scores to win the jackpot. This week is £250,000, and even if you don't manage to get 6 correct scores, there are more ways to win, with a guaranteed £5,000 up for grabs every single round if you get the most points, and plenty more. With me now, Martin Keown is back to run through the final 3 games of the list, one being Manchester United against Brighton, which is a 3 o'clock kick-off. Live coverage on TalkSport later on today on TalkSport 2. Martin, what is your prediction for this one?
I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw.
Ooh, okay, I can see that. This is one of the toughest of the lot this weekend. Over 300,000 players predicting a draw, the same as you at Old Trafford. The other two games we're looking at as well, West Ham against Manchester City and Tottenham against Sheffield United. What are your Super 6 predictions for those?
Well, this one might not be popular, but I'm going to go for a West Ham draw. 1-1, Man City. I think there's a few injury issues this weekend. Pep's back, though, from his bad back and his operation. But I do feel West Ham are perfectly suited to get something against City.
What about Spurs, Sheffield United?
3-0 Spurs win, looking in really good form right now. Dare I say it, they are looking dangerous. 3-0 win for them.
Right, well, less than 100,000 players are on the draw at the London Stadium, with as many as 20,000 opting for a West Ham home win. And by the way, somehow 51 players correctly predicted Burnley 2, Tottenham 5, meaning they were the first inductees into the 100 Club, winning prizes in the process. That's all thanks to Super 6. Don't forget the Super 6 has set up its very own Talksport League as well. You just need to sign up on the Super 6 website or app using the code TALKS6. That's TALKS6, where you can also win £100 for topping the league every single round. Remember to get those predictions in by 3 o'clock today. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
The Talksport Match Predictor with Super 6. Play for free. Predict 6 correct scores for the chance to win £250,000. Get your entries in by 3 p.m. today with Super 6. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
Just has some breaking news coming in from Crystal Palace. Unfortunately, Roy Hodgson has been taken unwell earlier on today, and he's not going to be at Villa Park for their match. Roy is in contact with Paddy McCarthy, who's going to be taking the team today, assisted by Ray Lewington. And Roy sent his best wishes to the team ahead of the match. And of course, we all send our very best wishes to Roy himself. Get well soon. Right, some big 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League today, that one included. On Talksport 2, though, we have live commentary of Manchester United against Brighton. Well, Game Day Live on Talksport comes from the London Stadium, where West Ham hosts Manchester City, and that is where we find Adrian Durham. Afternoon, Aid.
Two things to say. It's extremely boiling hot here. Unlucky you lot.
Don't say that.
And I've also gone West Ham to draw against Man City today, so that's bad news for Martin Keown, isn't it?
I think that's going to be a cracking game. And I tell you what, the reason I am underdressed here at Wolves and absolutely freezing is because I left London and it was boiling hot earlier on this morning at around 7 a.m. It was still warm, and we are not getting that here, that's for sure. It's going to be a cracker though, isn't it, Aid?
This one here, listen, your first half has been brilliant, and fascinated to see how Liverpool come out for the second half. Can't wait for the commentary. West Ham, Man City, West Ham unbeaten. They've won 3, drawn 1, best start since 83-84 when Alvin Martin was at the back for West Ham United. But Man City 100%, only conceded 2 goals so far. It has got the makings of an absolute classic, and it's almost as if something's got to give here, but indeed something does have to give here one way or the other. So I can't wait for this game to get going. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, looking forward to listening as well. 2:30, Adrian Durham, the team, will be coming live from the London Stadium for you. Don't forget, we've also got that Manchester United-Brighton game as well coming over on Talksport 2. Liverpool are out early. It looks as if they're going to be making a change as well. I'll let our chief commentator Sam Matterface give you those details very shortly. They're out way before Wolves, so certainly had a little bit of a conversation, I would suggest, with Jurgen Klopp at half-time, as Martin suggested he would need to have with his players. Now the Wolves players make their way out, as you can hear. We need the heat that's coming from those fire cannons as well on the far side. Thank you very much for that, Molyneux. Second half action. Wolves against Liverpool. Wolves leading by a 1-0. Coming up live and exclusive here on Talksport. Your commentary team are former Arsenal and Everton defender Martin Keown, alongside Sam Matterface.
Alexis McAllister has been taken off at half-time, and he has been replaced by the Colombian international Luis Diaz. It will mean a rejig in midfield. I'm going to anticipate, Martin, that will mean Curtis Jones plays in the deeper role, with Gakpo one side of him and Szoboszlai the other side of him. I would anticipate that is the case. We'll keep an eye on it. We are underway at the start of the second half, live on Talksport, where Wolverhampton Wanderers lead by 1-0. And Liverpool, who get us started, are in red shirts, red shorts and socks, attacking the goal away to our left. Wolves in old gold and black, attacking the goal away to our right.
Looks like it might even be a 4. The Liverpool playing with 4 strikers. And just 2 midfield players, so really very positive from Jurgen Klopp. You say they were out early. I think it's only so long that you can actually rollick the players. Eventually they've got to get out there and perform.
And put it right. Here is Szoboszlai from distance, playing the ball square into Diaz, and then Salah. It's behind Jota and cleared away by João Gomez. We'll run through the 2-11s in just a second, but Liverpool did play with that 4-2-4-esque formation away at Chelsea earlier in the season, and it didn't work particularly well at times. The ball is out towards the right. Gomez picking it up, moving forward down the right side for the away side, who trail here to that goal from Hwang after just 7 minutes of this game. There is a bit of familiarity between these two. This is the 5th meeting between the two sides in the calendar year. Here is Robertson down the left, a left-footed cross in towards Diaz, whose effort is narrowly wide. A header which he prods towards goal at the near post. Very quick, very sharp, and very unfortunate not to level things up, because that was a good crossfield ball from deep by Szoboszlai out to Robertson, whose first time cross on the volley was met by Luis Diaz on the edge of the 6, and it was just a yard wide.
Yeah, should have hit the target, but again, it's just like simplified it. Klopp, I think he's gone well with the tactics. Second half, just have the 2 midfield players there, and then when Gomez comes into midfield, there's only 3. By the way, what a run this is.
João Gomez, who's bounding forward and balletically trying to dive between challenge after challenge of red jersey. He drags his team up the pitch, didn't have the end product to find a pass by the time he got to the edge of the D, but it was another good run by him, and he's had a really good opening 47 minutes of this game. Wolves 1, Liverpool 0, live on Talksport. Adrian, you just heard him, he's at West Ham. He'll take you round the grounds from 2:30 in it sounds like a vest and a pair of swimming shorts from what he was saying earlier.
Well, he's still being, I think he's gone for the right choice, by the way. He's going for a draw there as well.
Oh yes, yeah.
So we'll all be we'll all be proof wrong, won't we, when Man City to win comfortably again.
Ball clipped out towards the right-hand side. Liverpool will certainly be hoping that is the case if they're to mount any sort of title challenge, especially if this result stays this way. Wolves leading by a goal to 0.
Already, though, I like the structure of this. You know, Wolves I'm not really quite sure, because there's that extra man in the final third, so it's pulling the midfield back a little bit.
Gakpo trying to send it wide, cut out by the retreating Neto this time, and then Bellegarde picks it up and charges forward up over the halfway line. A little turn and shrug away from Szoboszlai, goes between 2 players, finds Cunha, who can run with the ball at pace and does that out towards the left now, takes on Jota, pushes him to one side. He's in the left wing position, he needs someone in the centre, he's still running with the ball. Cunha into the penalty area, low ball through the edge of the 6-yard box, and it was almost mishandled by Alisson, but there was no one to aim at for Cunha. But he was so good at running with the ball, he just needs an outlet.
He's one of the best players running with the ball that we've seen really for years in this Premier League. I know it's early for him, he was on loan last season, but he runs so well, and there's nobody in the box.
Well, that was another opportunity for Wolves. They didn't maximise it, because he ended up running it down a bit of a cul-de-sac really. He could only shoot, and the angle from which he was going to do that was always going to be difficult. Was almost mishandled by his international colleague Alisson, who has been busy in the first few weeks of the season. He made 7 saves in the game against Newcastle.
It's interesting, Cunha, is he like Traore used to be?
Of course, in terms of having the ability to run with the ball but not the end product.
Well, people used to say, didn't they, it was like a Ferrari but with a learner driver at the wheel.
Here is Luis Diaz, who's stopped in his tracks by Mauro Lemina, and then his ball forward doesn't reach Bellegarde, who was stretching for it on halfway, so Liverpool turn it over and come forward down there right as they look at it. Jota cut out by Lemina again, and Bellegarde has got the pass this time and moves out towards the left side, nudges it into the path of Pedro Neto, who's tight to the touchline. Cunha takes it on, Hwang moves out towards the right, and they're quite content to hold on to possession here, Wolverhampton Wanderers, who lead by a goal to 0. You're listening to Talk Sport. Dawson took too long to get the ball down the right. He was harassed by Szoboszlai, who is asking for help from the officials and from his teammates. He's wanting more backup. Jurgen Klopp isn't happy.
Yeah, Szoboszlai looks like a real character to me. He's trying to get round the pitch. Looks really determined.
Nelson Semedo, I think, was just dragged back by his hair there. I'm not necessarily sure you're allowed to do that.
No.
Luis Diaz is going to be in trouble.
Well, he's got away with it, Diaz, but Semedo is just going past everybody that stands in front of him today. He's really high. This near side at the moment, he's staying in a high position, almost as a right winger.
Neto, who's definitely the out-and-out left winger, is trying to get the better of Matip, who read that well, gets it back to Alisson. The press is on, not with any real vigour though, and they can play out with the back quite easily, Liverpool, and move the ball down the right. But Lemina has immediately gone across and shut down Gomez, who just looks a little bit hesitant to me.
Well, I made that point in the first half. He doesn't look like he's really at full tilt. You've got to be totally committed. It's nice you want to look nice and you want to look good, but you've got to change gear.
Jones allows the ball to run through to Robertson. It's picked up by Luis Diaz on the left side of the Liverpool attack. He moves towards the 18-yard box, tucks it back to Curtis Jones, who cuts infield, beats Hwang, and then Liverpool win the ball back after a momentary clearance from Wolverhampton Wanderers, who do well to push Liverpool to halfway. 52 minutes gone, but Liverpool have had more of the ball in the second half, and they just have a little bit more purpose about them. This is Cody Gakpo in the number 10 position, dropping a little bit deeper, playing it square. Picked up now by Jean Matip, slides the ball into Szoboszlai's path. He's dispossessed by João Gomez. Lemina can't bring it away. Jones turns it over. Diaz down the left side into the box, goes past Semedo, produces a cross. Semedo gets back, blocks it, comes off the Colombian and goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, really good passage of play there from Liverpool, but Semedo matches it. Gets a good challenge as a player down injured, by the way, edge of the box.
It's midway between the centre circle and the edge of the D, and it is Mario Lemina who has added a little bit of physicality and dynamism to that midfield.
I think he gets an elbow there in the face just as he's trying to tussle for that ball. He's doing a really good job in there, isn't he, Lemina? Shutting everything down. Some changes coming here from Liverpool.
Harvey Elliott and Darwin Nunez are about to come on for Liverpool. Two more changes added to the one that they made at the break where Luis Diaz was introduced. Darwin Nunez, who himself has had problems finishing chances. And Harvey Elliott, who's got good memories of this ground, having scored the winner here in the FA Cup earlier in the season. He's not the only Liverpool player to have some good memories. Dominik Szoboszlai was part of the Hungary team that beat England here by 4-0 not so long ago. Here is Robertson down the left, looking for the run of Diaz. Semedo deals with it just about, goes out for a throw. It's halfway inside Wolves territory, in the arms of Diaz, finds Jones. Diaz once again, now Szoboszlai, left side of the Liverpool half of the field that are attacking. Back in it goes to the centre circle with Matip, who strides forward. He's now into Wolves territory, quite deep into Wolves territory. Plays it left. Jones, Robertson, back to Jones again. He'll right-footed, send across in towards Jota, but it's read well by Kilman, who comes across, chests the ball down and manages to clear. Hwang holds on to it, then heads it away, but doesn't get any distance on the clearance. And the ball comes back from Liverpool once again, and there might be a bit of a storm to ride out here for Wolves.
Yeah, it's just, again, sat edge of their own box, asking Liverpool to come on to them.
Yes, into Salah, away by Nori.
He's done that really well, Nori, hasn't he?
Kept tabs on Salah.
Never really left his side, and what he's doing is he's getting really tight to him, and there's got bodies around him to help him if he misses his challenge.
Szoboszlai into Gakpo, tight on the edge of the area. Diaz trying to weave it through to Jota, and then Salah, and tapped in at the far post by Cody Gakpo for his first goal of the season for Liverpool. Not scored since the last day of last season in club colours. Did score on international duty. It's on target here. It was tight, it was intricate, right on the edge of the penalty area. And as the ball went out towards Salah on the far side, he drove the ball through the 6-yard box for Gakpo to stab it in front of the fans away to our left-hand side. And it's Wolves 1, Liverpool 1.
Yeah, it's a cross from Salah, and then Gakpo just taps it in at the near post, at the far post. But it was intricate play that they sucked everybody in, and they got a little bit lucky. It went back out to Salah. Gakpo, by the way, his last contribution. Is he staying on, Gakpo? Looks like he's coming off. Last thing he did before he went off.
Yeah, last act for Cody Gakpo was put the ball in the back of the net, substituted
for Darwin Nunez. Harvey Elliott is on for Jota. And it is all changed for Liverpool. And the mood is all changed inside Molineux after that goal, Martin.
Well, he has, and I wondered if there was no hesitation, was there, from Jurgen Klopp after he scores that goal to make to not take him off Gakpo, but Nunez coming on, another, again, good options for him off the bench with a point to prove. The game's changed completely now.
Well, Liverpool had to come from behind in their last away game at Newcastle United, and they managed to eventually win that game, and Darwin Nunez came off the bench to score twice. Will he come back off the bench to win them this game as well? And Wolves won, Liverpool won, and it has been a much better second half for Liverpool than it was the first. Tactical change, personnel switches, and all of a sudden, Liverpool now on top. And what would you be doing if you were Gary O'Neill at this stage?
Well, telling his team to keep a hold of the ball, because they've been panicking at times, giving it away. OK, it's great to win the challenges, but you've got to hold on to that ball, haven't you, for a period of time? Otherwise, Liverpool just keep coming at you.
Elliott plays the ball back towards Matip. He's charged down by Bellegarde. It was a little bit short from Elliott, that. And eventually Quansah gets it back to his goalkeeper. And Liverpool, who had a poor first half, have started the second half well. Diaz down to Salah into Nunez. There's lots of space for Robertson on this left-hand side. Nunez runs up towards the edge of the area, then cuts infield on his right foot, delivers the ball towards the far post. It was a cross-come shot, really, from Darwin Nunez. And after seeing players taken away to try and cover the run of Robertson, he thought there might be a gap that opened up for him. Cut in on his right foot. Never really looked confident enough from that sort of range.
No, but he does bring him a momentum, doesn't he, to Liverpool when he comes on. He looks fired up, he looks charged, and he was always going to hit that ball from distance. Some more changes coming up here, I believe, Sam. I think Wolves responding here.
Matt Doherty about to come on. The right back is back in the Wolves fold after a spell at Tottenham and Atletico Madrid. And they've won a free kick on the right side. And Fabio Silva is getting ready as well. It is. And he's about to come on. Maybe he will go and lead the line in place of Cunha. We'll see how it and what happens next. Here's Dawson down the right to Semedo, who chests it down. Brings it forward for Wolverhampton Wanderers. 1-1 the score on Talksport live at Molineux. Good interchange between Hwang and Semedo. The cross into the box is a good one. Trying to meet that was Bellegarde, but it's away by Gomez. Comes back out to João Gomez on the edge of the area. His right-footed shot is over the top of the crossbar. Another chance for Wolverhampton Wanderers. And that's a little bit better. They've got to do that a little bit more, because after ceding possession to Liverpool, they almost ceded control of the game.
Yeah, you're quite right, Sam. And I think that's, you know, the fans need to be able to see that their team has responded there. Semedo again, though, at the right-hand side, he is having a great afternoon here. He whips another ball into the box there, and it finishes with a Gomez shot, full of confidence. Here they come again, Liverpool, though.
Yeah, there's more space down this left-hand side for Liverpool now, and Robertson is bursting down that left channel and delivers a cross into the near post, which is dealt with by Dawson. It's out onto this near side. Well, with Doherty coming onto the pitch, it'll be interesting to see who comes off, because arguably it would be a like-for-like replacement for Semedo that you would be expecting in this situation, but Semedo's had such a good game, you would be surprised.
It'll have to be Hwang, surely, wouldn't it? To double up with almost two right-backs. Maybe that's what he wants to do. Sees it as a point. Let's get a point here.
Hwang and Gomez winning the ball well on halfway. Semedo skips past two challenges and then is nudged over by Darwin Nunez. Darwin Nunez then tries to help him back up again. It's a free kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers, and here's details of those changes. Hwang is coming off. He was a bit upset about that when he saw his number go up. On comes Matt Doherty. It is going to be a doubling up on this right-hand side, because there has been a little bit more room just starting to be found by Robertson, who's got higher up from left back. They've covered that area now, and Fabio Silva comes on for Cunha in the other change. So I think those changes probably telegraphed. We could have expected those.
Yeah, Cunha's been away, hasn't he, with the Brazilian national team. I think he came on in the game for them. Shows you how good he is, by the way.
Yeah, back in the international fold for the first time in a little while at the end of last season, and called up for the two games in this international break as well. Here is Aït-Nouri, who skips infield and then runs into Darwin Nunez, who He then decides to pull his arm out of its socket, and Nunez then gets the free kick and then quickly sends the ball out towards the right. Wasn't really paying attention, played it too heftily behind the Egyptian, who's not happy at all about the delivery.
Yeah, it's a lifted pass as well. Sloppy. You might have thought there that the booking might have come for Norrie there, and the players are sort of, he hasn't really got, he's got it back to play, Salah, a little bit.
It's been a bright start to the second half. It was a bright first half. It really was a entertaining first hour that we've had here, and there's still a lot more to come. Live on Talksport. Remember, this afternoon we've got commentary from Manchester United against Brighton and Hove Albion, of which we will bring you team news with Ian Danter very shortly. It's over on Talksport 2. Semedo being pushed out of the way by Darwin Nunez, who is a little bit of a whirlwind. They found Elliott, edge of the penalty area, trying to get a shot away, goes down the left instead, produced across towards the far post. It's too high, and Jose Sarr will collect it. I just wondered whether or not there was a little gap there for Elliott to expose.
Yeah, but it wasn't on his left side. It was the right side, and he shied away from that. He's got to come onto that and hit it with his on-favoured foot.
Great touch by Bellegarde to take it out of the sky, chests it down and moves forward. Wolves in possession. What a good game he's had on debut for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Jean-Ricnat Bellegarde, who did say in the week, it's Bellegarde, or you can call me GG, as I was known at Strasbourg. Up to you.
Can
what
you say that again? You said that. Like the accent there. Very good, very good.
Here is Semedo into Fabio Silva. And it goes all the way back to Dawson. This is Talksport. Into Semedo again it goes. And then he turns it round the corner. And João Gomez trying to pierce the Liverpool defence. Good tackle that by Quansah, who read it perfectly and nabbed the ball away.
Yeah, he loses the ball there because Silva, and you can see, makes a run too early, and he didn't want to play it to him.
He was moving into an offside position. Nunez, good control, takes it down the left wing, moves into the Wolves penalty area, down the left side, gets to the byline, produced across into the centre, blocked by Kilman, comes back to Doherty, and he whacks it high into the evening sky. It's dropped onto the head of Curtis Jones and out towards the near side.
There's no doubt Nunez has made a difference. There's something happening around him. He's got really good pace, and he plays off that kind of an energy.
Matip strides forward the ball, plays it out to Gomez. Towards the far post is Nunez, and it came past him. And if he'd just stuck out his left foot and gambled there, Darwin Nunez, then that might well have been 2-1 to Liverpool, because that was a really good cross from Gomez on the right-hand side. Started the move, Matip, by bringing the ball out of defence, quickly shifted it on to Gomez, whose cross went past Dawson. And Nunez will be disappointed that he didn't react. A bit of a problem here for Ryan Aït-Nouri. And as a result of that, they're just going to make sure that he's okay. But an opportunity for me to give a shout out to our colleague, Talksport's Jeff Stelling, who is walking 26.2 miles on Sunday for Prostate Cancer UK. He will be on Breakfast with Ali McCoist every Monday and Tuesday from December. So, Jeff, wherever you're walking tomorrow, make sure you take your mobile phone and your Talksport app, and you can listen to the Sunday session while you're doing your
I'm sure he will.
Workout. Why not?
Ultimate professional, I'm sure he will. I'm looking at Norrie here, and either he's just taking a drinks break, or he looks like he's had enough.
Well, he's been watching and looking after Mo Salah all day. It's still Wolves 1, Liverpool 1 on Talksport with Now. Don't forget, with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Newcastle Brentford live today for $11.99. No contract. Looks like Hugo Bueno is going to have to come on. It's a like-for-like change. They do have fond memories of clinching the title here, Liverpool, back in the days of Kevin Keegan, John Toshak and Alan Kennedy. The year of the driest summer, a stifling heat wave, Concorde's first commercial flight, and Brotherhood of Man winning the European Song Contest.
76?
Correct, Martin Keown.
Substitution for Wolves, replacing number 3, Ryan Aït-Nouri.
Aït-Nouri's had enough. Might well be an injury. He's had a really tough time, but a very good time shackling Salah so far.
Now
it's Bueno's opportunity.
He looks very pleased to me, Norrie, being cynical to be going off right now. He's thinking, do you know what, I've done as well as I can. I'll just drop out now.
Is that what you used to do?
No, not at all.
Fashion injury when you know.
I was actually better.
Andy Cole got the better of you.
The last 10 or 15 minutes, I always came into my own.
Did you? Was that when you came off the bench?
yeah. Well, the last season, yes, but before that, no.
St Johnstone 0, Rangers 1. It was quite a good season, that, from what I remember.
Yeah, not bad.
Bellegarde going back to Jose Sarr. Arsenal invincible. Martin Keown is with us, and we're delighted to have him as well. The ball is on the halfway line with Lamina, out towards the left-hand side. Make sure if you do see him on the way to Wolverhampton train station later, you make him feel welcome.
And show me the way.
Yeah. To the first-class lounge?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
66 minutes on the clock. Aït-Nouri gets a round of applause as he walks back towards the dugout.
This game is here for the taking, Sam. Sorry, mate. It's just nicely poised, isn't it?
1-1.
Right now. And it just whoever wants it most takes this match.
Here is Joe Gomez down the right side. He's crossed, cannons off the defender's arm. I mean, it's given us handball. It's very difficult to give that handball 3 yards away. He's crossed the ball in. It's hit his arm. Was his arm outstretched?
No, it's the arm behind. It's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. If they score from this, again, it's another one, isn't it? You say, well, OK, you're a bit quick there. It's a blow for that, Mr. Referee.
That's not a handball. I'm sorry.
It's Michael
ridiculous.
Oliver as well, one of our best.
His arm was away from his body, yes, but because he was running, and it was the back arm, not the front arm.
Trailing arm,
There's no way in the world that he even meant to get that out from the side of his body. Here's Elliott with the delivery into the box. It's blocked. It comes back out to Jones, who's on the other side of the penalty area left. On to Diaz now, who's moving into the area, but he's outfoxed by Lamina. A very good challenge by him.
Very good.
Cleared away by Lamina, but that wasn't great, and he's given it straight to Gomez on halfway. 67 gone. Just wonder whether or not if that handball had been in the box, whether the referee would have given it or it would have been overturned by VAR.
Well, I don't think VAR would have overturned it. This is the thing.
Well, you never can tell nowadays. That was a bit cynical from me then.
No, well, I mean, that's, of course, if they're actually watching in VAR.
It's a bit cynical from you.
Sounds like they're too honest.
By Neto, who's driving forward through the heart of the Liverpool defence. But let's be clear, he only got to halfway, and the crowd got excited because really Wolves haven't got over the halfway line for quite some time. You know, petered out very quickly.
No, I think they're really impressed, aren't they, with the general shape of the team, the quality that they have. They looked a threat here today, Wolves, albeit on the break though.
They've had to dig in a little bit in this second half, though, haven't they? As Liverpool have upped the pressure and upped the ante. It's 1-1 live on Talksport. Remember, Liverpool looking for a 4th win in a row. And they failed on their travels too often last season.
I think Klopp will be looking for just a little bit more composure from his team now. Now they've wrestled their way back into this. They want to see that quality come pouring through.
No, and Wolverhampton Wanderers fans have recent memories of a difficult second half. At Palace, the game burst into life. 5 goals, 13 shots, 11 on target. The issue was the fact that most of them came from Crystal Palace. And Wolves had, like this game, controlled large portions of that first half. Here is Elliott down to Salah. Salah gets the ball back to the edge of the area. Touched on by Diaz to Nunez. Nunez into Diaz once again. Back to Nunez. Nunez in front of goal. Blocked by Salah and then by Kilman. They smuggled it away somehow, Wolverhampton Wanderers. And it was really intricate stuff again from Liverpool on the edge of the penalty area. Lots of little neat touches. And Szoboszlai with a lovely roll of the ankle and gets the ball beyond the defender. Out towards the left now, and Diaz into the penalty area, down by the byline, plays it against Semedo, out for a corner. What a chance.
Yeah, you can just feel, can't you, that determination that Klopp has pouring through his team here. Nunez there, he's just bullied his way into an opportunity. And Kilman, I think it's Kilman who makes a block. It's an outstanding block, by the way. Look at that, just gets across. Fantastic. We're just watching a replay of it.
Yeah, it was Sarr and Kilman, the two of them together, managing to thwart Darwin Nunez, who had another good chance. It's 1-1. Corner comes in from Robertson. Arc the ball left-footed towards the penalty spot. Headed away by Dawson. Back in by Szoboszlai to the left. Another cross from Robertson incoming towards Darwin Nunez. Away by Dawson once again, so effective in the air.
goes centrally where it's picked up by Gomez towards the left, looking for Robertson, away by Semedo, picked up by Doherty, who travels towards the near touchline, plays it against the Hungarian Szoboszlai, and it's out for a throw-in on this near side to Wolverhampton Wanderers, who have 20 minutes to hang on here in order to get a precious point against Liverpool, a game which they led until after half-time.
I think Szoboszlai looks much more comfortable, doesn't he? Just slightly deeper. It looks a real driving force. There's a booking coming here because Semedo's taking too long, and this is what I applaud. This, get on with the game. It's time wasting.
Semedo, the first Wolverhampton Wanderers player to go into the referee's notebook on 71 minutes. And there's a collision there. Fabio Silva hasn't quite got the decision that he was hoping for. Got a whack in the schnoz. Going to be a free kick to Liverpool just short of the halfway line. We'll be round our grounds in just a few moments, giving you team news from up and down the country as we go to Villa, to Craven Cottage, to Old Trafford, to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and to the London Stadium ahead of the 3 o'clock kickoffs, which will be covered all by Adrian Durham at 2:30 this afternoon. Let's start with West Ham against Manchester City, where 3 of the last 4 meetings have ended in a draw between these two, and both of them are in good form, Ollie Klink.
They are indeed, Sam, both unbeaten. There's just one change for West Ham. Thomas Souček comes in for Saeed Benrahma. Meanwhile, 2 changes for Man City. Out come Ake and Kovacic. In come Vardiol and Bernardo Silva.
Wonder whether or not Eric Ten Hag's season is going to get worse before it gets better. Manchester United against Brighton is live on Talksport 2 in front of Ian Danter.
3 changes for Manchester United from last time out in the Premier League. Imkan, Reguilon, McTominay and Højlund for his first start for Manchester United. Harry Maguire is on the bench. 6 changes for Brighton. Steele, Lamptey, Dahoud, Adingra, Lallana and Welbeck, former Manchester United striker, come in. Evan Ferguson is fit enough for the Brighton bench. Live at 3 on Talksport 2, it's Manchester United against Brighton.
Back here, it's still 1-1 between Wolves and Liverpool. The Wolves fans upset because Lamina thought it had escaped and then was pulled back after he was adjudged to have committed a foul. It looked pretty soft. Here's Robertson approaching the penalty area for Liverpool. Luis Diaz goes past Fabio Silva. The referee ends up touching the ball. He's got to stop the game as a result of that and give an uncontested drop ball. But go back to that incident where Lamina thought it escaped. Szoboszlai made a mistake initially and Lamina nipped him. Was it a foul?
Yes, just. But you know, it's one of those where Michael Oliver must be gambling because he can't possibly see from the angle that he's in, but he gambles well there.
Instincts.
Yeah.
Even referees
if they'd have gone forward and scored there, probably would have been brought back by VAR, but
let's see. Ange Postecoglou was hailing the attitude of Yves Bissouma when he was on the White and Jordan show this week, but has he turned up in time in order to be in the team for the visit of Sheffield United, Alex Crook?
Yes, he has, and after a stunning piece of skill while playing for Mali, Bissouma, part of an unchanged Tottenham team. Son once again starts up front. 4 changes for Sheffield United, including first Premier League starts in their colours for Thomas and McAtee. Basham and Bogle also come in. Egan and Baldock are injured. Norwood and Larouci drop to the bench.
Still Wolves 1, Liverpool 1, live on Talksport. Here is Joel Matip out towards the right-hand side. And he's found Joe Gomez, who's midway inside opposition territory, plays it infield to Szoboszlai, and then Curtis Jones rides the challenge of first João Gomez, and then Elliott goes out to the far side, and Gomez snapping at the heels, making sure it's an uncomfortable experience for the Liverpool players as they look to progress forward and in search of this winner. It's Gomez down towards the byline, a low cross into the near post. It's chested away by Kilman, who takes it wide of the penalty area, thrashes it clear. It's chested down by Matip. Silva is there trying to win it, can't get hold of it, and Liverpool have it once again. There's a bit of frustration here because they're getting deeper and deeper. Liverpool coming forward. We go off to Villa Park in just a second. The ball spread by Diaz out towards the right-hand side. Elliott back to Gomez, whose cross is deep. Darwin Nunez is underneath it. Back into the centre, out to the edge of the box. Hit by Szoboszlai into the stand, away to our left-hand side. So off to Villa Park, Villa Crystal Palace. Palace are unbeaten on the road this season. Villa have won the last 8 at home. Big day for both. And no Roy Hodgson. Adam Bridge.
No, he's unwell. Palace make 2 changes in front of Paddy McCarthy, who'll leave the side today. Their first changes to the starting 11 this season. Gahey and Lerma out injured. Richards and Hughes come in. As for the home side, 1 change. Zaniolo replaces the injured Costa for his first start in the Premier League for Aston Villa.
Wolverhampton Wanderers about to make another substitution. First of all, let's go off to Fulham Luton. The last time Luton went to Craven Cottage, they were beaten 7-0. They'll be hoping for a closer game today. Sam Ellard.
Yeah, they'll also be looking for their first points of the season. It's 3 games, 3 defeats for Luton, who make 4 changes. Lockyer, Kabore, Brown come in, as does Lakonga, who makes his debut. Fulham have 4 points from 4 games, 3 changes for them this afternoon. Castagna makes his first Fulham start. Recalls for Paulinho and Willian. Fulham Luton, 3 o'clock kickoff.
How good is João Gomez at putting pressure on? He has been ratting around Curtis Jones, not giving him a moment's peace. I did say that Luton will be hoping for a closer encounter this time around. Faye Carruthers certainly hoping for a closer encounter this time around. She gave me a horrible scowl for mentioning that 7-0 thrashing a year and a half ago. A bit unfair, I thought. Facts, Faye, facts. Here is Quansah forward towards the left-hand side. Traore coming on too, so a change in midfield upcoming for Wolves. On to Diaz from Nunez, edge of the area. Liverpool on the attack. Robertson thrusting it through the middle of the park. I just wonder whether or not Bellegarde has just run his race here.
Yeah, he's basically whacked that off and said, get me off now. And here he comes.
Well, it's been a good debut for Jean-Rignard Bellegarde, who is replaced by Boubacar Traore. And Tommy Doyle is coming on for Lamina in 2 changes, which will bolster that midfield, which was just starting to tire, I think, with 13 minutes to go. It's a debut for Tommy Doyle, who's just had a minor knee injury since he signed for Manchester City. He's initially going to be here on a season-long loan, but it should turn permanent. 38 appearances last season with Sheffield United. And he is now in the heart of the Wolverhampton Wanderers midfield.
I like Tommy Doyle. Good player, good range of passing, but he's going to be doing a lot of defending, I feel, for the rest of this match.
There's still 12 minutes plus stoppage time before the end of the encounter. And it is Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Liverpool 1, live on Talksport. Here is Luis Diaz winning the ball wide on the left-hand side for Liverpool. Back into Quansah, and then centrally is Szoboszlai. Back out wide for Robertson. Chase is going to be too heavy for him. It's going to go behind.
Traore, though, just coming off the bench, fresh legs, really puts him under pressure. There's going to have to be really dogged, organised defending here from Wolves, because they're just literally sitting there saying to Liverpool, come on then, see if you can beat us.
Is that the right tactic?
I'm worried. I can't see them lasting another, 12, 15 minutes?
There isn't much outlet going forward now, is there? Because Fabio Silva really hasn't got into the game since coming off the bench to replace Matthias Cunha.
Cunha was taken off maybe a little bit early in the game for me. Bellegarde maybe could have been the player that went off at that stage, but since he went off, they haven't really got that player on the counter-attack.
Tommy Doyle gets the ball back to Max Kilman, who sees it all the way to Jose Sarr, who scoops the ball high into the afternoon sky, drops in the centre circle. Doyle forward, Fabio Silva on the turn this time, runs forward. He's got an outlet on the left in Neto. He gets it wide to him, wants the return cross into the box, looking for Fabio Silva. It's headed away by Quansah, did well. Szoboszlai manages to clear, and then Semedo and Diaz are getting in each other's way, and Diaz comes away with the ball, but Semedo stands up well, plays it against the Colombian, and it goes out on this near side. Luis Diaz not happy about the shirt pull that he was accusing Semedo of inflicting on him, but it was good defending again by Semedo.
He's not happy because he's second best to Semedo today.
Gomez, who takes the ball down well from the sky. It's cleared away by Matip out towards the right. It was a hopeful ball for Salah, nothing more than that. And Wolverhampton Wanderers bring it clear. João Gomez, Hugo Bueno, left side on the halfway line. Tommy Doyle looks up, spreads it wide. There's space here for Semedo. There's 3 running through the centre. Neto has been pulled down off the ball into the box. He comes back to Semedo, hits the arm of the defender. His arms, Matip, were tucked in by his side, and the referee says no penalty.
I think you're right, Sam. And there's a stoppage here. It's just a bit of cramp, isn't it? It's a young man.
Quansah down inside the area, and the Wolves fans aren't happy about the fact that he's gone down with a bit of cramp.
But it was good play, wasn't it, from Wolves again. Doyle in that midfield, playing a stretching pass out to this right-hand side.
Look at that collision between Neto and Gomez at the top of the picture.
Well, you think VAR will look at that?
Well, nothing happening else, so there's no match-changing incident. It's not a sending off, is it? So
and Matip, as you say, has got his arm, hasn't he, tucked in. It just hits him in the midriff.
Well, Liverpool, who may have had their squad stretched by today's game, are featuring in our European action next week. We've got games on Tuesday, including the first match for Newcastle United in the Champions League, as Quansah is told to get up by Robertson, but the ball's been given away to Silva. It's run loose inside the area, and Alisson gets there ahead of Neto and goes out towards the far side. I don't know if Jarell Quansah is going to be able to play against LASK, live on Talksport 2, 5:45 on Thursday. I don't know if he's going to be able to play much longer in this game. He's gone down, that's wasting time. It's going to be a yellow card shortly, isn't it?
Well, the young man, to be fair to him, he's got the cramp, he's riddled with cramp. And he's tried to play on, and immediately he's got, as the ball came back into play, he went down, hit the ground again, and then he jumps up because he realised it's not going to stop.
He got told to by Andy Robertson.
He's been rescued now. Conser's coming on, substitute for Liverpool.
Kanate on, Quansah off.
He's done well though, hasn't he, the youngster?
Yeah, he has actually. He's done very well. And Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Liverpool 1 is the scoreline. With Talksport and Super 6, predict 6 correct scores from this weekend's action, and you can win £250,000 without spending a penny. Still, St Johnstone 0, Rangers 1 in the Scottish Premiership. Remember, we got a bumper week of Talksport breakfast. Andy Townsend and Ali back together on Monday morning from 6 a.m. It's been a cracking week. In the last week or so, we've had David Moyes on the show, Ashley Young, Ange Postecoglou joined White and Jordan as well. With another thrilling week on TalkSport. Just download our app, you can access all our content, and you can take us on the go. Nunez moving up towards the edge of the penalty area. There's 7 minutes to go. Is there a winner in this game between Wolves and Liverpool? Wolves who had the better of the first half. Liverpool definitely had the better of the first portion of the second half, but Wolves, who have dropped deep, doggedly defended, are hoping that there isn't late heartbreak like there was at Selhurst Park 2 weeks ago.
Well, that's what they'll be hoping for. And then just looking at some of the quality of Nunez, is just not very tidy, is it, with his feet? It's all 100 miles an hour. And as I say, just more composure from Liverpool right now.
Kanate on the ball after returning from injury. He was back in light training only at the end of this week, and has only been able to be called upon for the last few minutes of this game. 1-1 the score. Elliott from just right of the centre circle floats the ball like a quarterback out towards the far side, looking to release Andy Robertson. We've got loads of NFL action on TalkSport 2 tomorrow, by the way, including that big game for the Dolphins, who were terrific last weekend. Here is Luis Diaz moving up towards the edge of the penalty area, scooting past one challenge and then thinking he got past another. The referee said play on, despite the fact that Diaz was calling for a foul. Kanate down the left into Nunez once again, runs perpendicular to the edge of the penalty area. Kanate stabs it forward. Szoboszlai in towards Nunez, who tries to poke it through to Elliott. Back to the left. Here's Luis Diaz with a chance. What a block! What a fabulous, fabulous block from Craig Dawson, who came darting across and put his whole body in front of the Colombian.
Well, it's you don't think there's any space there, but Diaz suddenly gets through and then he throws his body at it. Dawson, I think it hits him, doesn't it?
Oh, God, he's got it right in the peanuts.
Excuse me?
Here's the corner, over on the far side, crossed in towards the far post and caught well by Jose Sarr.
It was a good catch, and he's tried to deliver that early, hasn't he, on the counter-attack, and all he's done is invited more pressure.
Here goes Robertson, out to the wide right. Salah takes it on. Robertson follows it in and finishes beautifully. What a goal for Liverpool. What a winner. And Andy Robertson, who had a terrible international break and made a huge mistake up at Hampden Park, may well just have won this game for Liverpool with a terrific finish. Mo Salah down the right-hand side feeds the Scotland captain. And Liverpool's number 26 comes darting into the box and tucks the ball underneath Jose Sarr, whose clearance was really poor in the build-up to that.
And Robertson, who won it back, recycled it, fed Salah, got the ball back from Salah, has sent it straight back down Jose Sarr's throat. Well, it's 2-1 Liverpool.
Yeah, Sam, I mean, just you look at this, okay, I know Salah is involved in this, but this is down to two players. One player, the goalkeeper for Wolves, stupid. He gets the ball, he tries to release it early. Robertson's brilliant. He takes it, plucks it out of the air, he runs with it, he travels, he goes wide, gives it to Salah, keeps his run on, and it's just a wonderful finish. I mean, the angle you said about his goal that he gives away for Scotland in midweek, but he also scored.
He did, yeah.
And he scores again today.
Picked up by João Gomez, plays it out towards the right-hand side, collected by Doherty. Doherty, infield it goes once again. And then Semedo forward, Dawson sending it on, and Silva can't get on the end of a ball, which is dabbed back by Konate. Well, Jose Sarr's clearance was a poor one. The pump return from Andrew Robertson was pretty smart, because he quickly shifted it on to Salah, and then he sped away from an unfamiliar right full-back position into a right wing position, and the finish was terrific.
Well, that's where he was for Scotland in midweek, wasn't it? That sort of wide right position, nobody could understand why he was there, and pretty similar today.
Gomez into Salah, he's got Nunez in the centre, Luis Diaz is there as well, it's popped up for Diaz, he's trying to keep it alive, he's on the floor now, he's wrestled to the ground, and is it a goal kick or a corner? It's going to be a corner over on the far side for Liverpool, but again, Liverpool with a little bit of pace injected into the attack right at the very end, have exposed Wolves' frailties, and those ideas that they had of sitting on and holding on to that 1 point are not going to come to fruition again for Wolves.
No, and Sam, they started going wide, and this Salah, I mean, Salah's clapping now, isn't he? Almost taking the mix. So thank God for that. You realise that I'm out here, give me the ball.
Well, I mentioned to you before the game that I thought one of the big problems that they had, Wolverhampton Wanderers, was they had defensive frailties. Every now and again they would switch off, and just that one mistake from Jose Sarr has cost them. As the ball goes into the box, it's bounced on to the chest of Diaz, out on the edge of the penalty area. Silva trying to escape and get away, and he's managed to hold off one player, and then he can't field Neto. And Neto, who was running through the centre, couldn't get on the end of that ball from Silva. It wasn't a great pass forward, and it remains 2-1 to Liverpool.
Well, what Sarr does goes completely against the game plan, which very clearly is to just get a point out of this game now today, Wolves, and the keeper blasts it forward. You're not looking for that.
Well, he's against Crystal Palace, he sent the ball forward at pace almost every time he got it in his hands, but actually in this match he's kept hold of it a lot longer and stopped that idea of trying to force the issue. They haven't needed to do so.
No,
and then he did,
yeah,
and it came back to haunt him.
It was almost out of sync, wasn't it, with the whole game? Normally you get it and just take his time, but for some reason he wanted to do a counter-attacking goal kick. It wasn't on.
Konate has been robbed by Silva on the edge of his own penalty area. It's come back out towards João Gomez, who's won it well. Traoré now trying to get the equaliser for Wolves in the last few minutes of the game. 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. It's 2-1 to Liverpool. Out on the left, Neto produced across. Doherty at the back post is headed behind by Robertson. Now there's a goal kick instead of a corner kick, and I'm not entirely sure the Wolves fans can understand why. There's no complaint from Doherty though.
Well, Neto again on that left-hand side. Little jink. Has the beating of his man.
Robertson did well.
He did do well.
Covering the far post, forcing the ball onto the head of Doherty, and it'll be cleared by Alisson. We're in the final 60 seconds of the game. The fourth official is Tim Robinson. He's just waiting to give an indication as to how many added minutes there are. That journey back up the motorway network or on the cross-country trains, whatever you decide to use, is going to be a little bit more palatable for the Liverpool fans now.
Well, it certainly was, and the only thing that troubles me is that, do they look like Premier League champions to you today? There's no real control, but the energy that came, I'm pretty certain that was some team talk at half-time from Jurgen Klopp.
Well, you can't afford to give Manchester City a head start, and you could say they haven't quite found their rhythm yet. yet they are only 2 points behind them if they win their game this afternoon. Manchester City, they're ahead of them at the moment as Nunez plays it out wide to the right. Salah into the penalty area, plays it against Kilman, gets it back again in the right angle of the box, sets it up for Elliott, and it takes a deflection, bobbles past the goalkeeper, hits the post and goes in, and Harvey Elliott clinches all 3 points at Molineux for Liverpool. And after such a brave display by Wolves, they've conceded 2 late goals and surrendered all 3 points to the Reds. And for the second successive season, Harvey Elliott has scored at Molineux. It's Wolves 1, Liverpool 3.
Well, just to talk that through, Dawson, he's on the ground because the ball went into Nunez and he was so strong, turns and gives it out to Salah. And then when it comes back to Elliott on the edge of the box, you think, OK, he's on his good foot. We're just looking at a replay there. Whether there's anything in that, they're going to bring it back. The referee's happy. Salah just rolls it, doesn't he? Gets time on the ball, and Elliott's just looking at the opportunity on his favoured left foot, and he hits it like an arrow against the post. I don't think it takes a deflection. It's a really good strike.
Yeah, it comes off point.
It does, slight deflection, doesn't it? But it doesn't change direction of the ball. The goalkeeper's got no chance of getting anywhere near that bottom left-hand corner, and that makes it 3-1 now.
Dawson still getting a bit of treatment. Is it possible that it might go down as an own goal because it was going off target?
That means you're right, and that it did affect it. I'm just going to see it one again, if we can see it again. But I would like to give the goal to young Elliott.
Yeah, well, certainly.
By the way, I have a player down it here. I think it's Dawson, and I really hope he hasn't done serious injury. I think it's the left ankle, isn't it?
Oh no,
that's
it's his head. I think that's the problem. He got a left arm in his face by Darwin Nunez. Now VAR haven't suggested they're going to look at this just yet, but
Michael Oliver was right on the action and he waves play on immediately. He's almost standing right next to both players.
And also, it's quite a time between that incident and the goal going in,
and it might be an accident. It might just be an accidental clash of heads here.
It does look as if the substitution is going to be made at this point. Off comes Mo Salah and on comes Ryan Gravenberch, his debut in Liverpool colours. And a successful afternoon for Liverpool, despite the fact that they were not at their best. There's 8 minutes of added time, by the way, of which 2 of them have been spent detailing problems for Craig Dawson. But it is a suspected head injury, so he does need to be given the care and attention that you would expect at this stage.
Well, I'd like to see another replay of that, really, just to confirm to people listening. Dawson, you don't see Dawson go down all too often, do you? But nonetheless, Nunez, I felt he held onto that ball beautifully when it went into his feet.
Well, the left arm definitely came out as he looked to speed away, and it caught the side of the temple of Craig Dawson, who went down. And Craig Dawson is not the kind of player that stays down for very long.
For sure.
Which is also another alarm bell that's ringing at this moment in time. He is back on his feet, which is good to see. I'm not sure he'll be able to continue. There's not much point in him continuing, really, seeing as we're into the 94th minute and
correct.
This game is done. So there's no point in taking any chances.
No, I think we should just take him off. He's almost too brave for his own good here.
Yeah, it's one of those things that needs to be taken out of his hands, really. Gravenberch is on, and he comes on for his Liverpool debut after his deadline day move. And they've given the ball away very quickly here, Wolverhampton Wanderers. And Liverpool, who lead by 3-1 now, are in a position where they are ready to excel and ready to go up the table and above Manchester City for now. Manchester City take on West Ham. Adrian Durham is at the London Stadium. And maybe they might be able to mount a title challenge after all, even if Martin is a little bit unsure of whether or not they've got the quality to be able to sustain it. It does take a little while to click, though, doesn't it, when you've acquired so many new players?
It does, but one thing it shows is they've certainly got the manager to do it, because he really must have laid down the law at half-time. He didn't have much patience, did he? He was quick to make his substitutions, made one at half-time, and then just a few minutes into the second half, and it's had the added effect.
Konate, he strides forward and then pokes the ball in behind the defence. Dawson struggling to get back, and Luis Diaz is there to try and pop it past Jose Sarr, who makes a save. It pops up and he just about gets it at the second attempt. Another big chance for Liverpool. Hardly had any real clear-cut opportunities in the first half, Martin, but in the second half they certainly had more than a few.
Fantastic ball there, wasn't it, from Konate, outside of his right foot into the path of Diaz. He doesn't look sharp, does he, Diaz? I'm just, maybe I'm nitpicking. He's a player who plays off desire, but doesn't look quite fit enough right now.
Yellow card for Harvey Elliott for going over and celebrating with the supporters over on the far side. I think he got involved with a crowd there, which is not what you're allowed to do. And as a result, found himself in the referee's note. But what would you make of Wolves' start of the season now that they've played quite well in this game? They played quite well at Manchester United. They played quite well even here against Brighton. But they've lost all of those games.
Yeah, it's concerning, it's worrying. You say you played well, you performed okay, and then it's a comprehensive defeat. I think it's the basics as well. There's very, very definitely they were in this game. They should be taking at least a point away from this, but I think the goalkeeper almost loses his head. It's rash to go forward. Why did he need to go forward when he did? And again, they get punished, but there wasn't really an awful lot between these two teams, but Liverpool just took them to the sword, really, and it's the quality in the final third.
And those two chances that they had in the first half to extend their lead that they didn't take.
Well, that's an area, Sam, isn't it, where they really do need a centre forward of some quality.
I'm surprised that we haven't seen Sasa Kalajdzic in this game today. We've got a minute to go. You never walk alone. Ringing around Molineux. And remember, Liverpool, part of our midweek menu of live football. We've got Newcastle's first game in the Champions League for 20 years, live on Talksport in Milan on Tuesday. I'll be with Alan Pardew for that one. It's live on Talksport. The game kicks off at 5:55. We're eating into drive time. Monday night, Nottingham Forest take on Burnley. Another big game for both those two teams, especially for Burnley, who are looking to post points on the ball for the first time this season. Fabio Silva finds Semedo down the right-hand side. He progresses towards the edge of the penalty area in the 98th minute of the game. It's given away by Fabio Silva. Chance to break for Liverpool. Nunez leading the charge. Liverpool have come from behind in an away game to win for the second time in two successive away matches. Here's Nunez on the ball, sending it into Elliott. Then in wide, Gravenberch does a little Cruyff turn. He could have hit it first time with his right foot, didn't, ran into traffic instead, and then loses the ball.
Well, Elliott was very generous as well there. For me, he probably should have shot. And Gravenberch was expecting him to shoot. And one or two of these Wolves players look as if the towel has come in.
And it's been a long 90 minutes now for Wolverhampton Wanderers. And they are going to find themselves in a situation where they've just got 3 points from their opening 5 games. Liverpool, who dropped 34 points on their travels last season, not a habit that they could get into if they want to force their way into the mix with Manchester City, have now picked up 7 points from their 3 away games. 99 minutes on the clock. You're listening to Talksport. Elliott, down the left it goes, looking for Luis Diaz, who looks to bound forward. Across comes Semedo.
Been their best player, hasn't he? Neto, Semedo. Yeah, is there much between them?
I think Neto's faded towards the end. I think you're probably right on Semedo.
Hardly seen Neto in the second half.
Robertson, the Liverpool captain of the day, has come up with a captain's goal, which has put them in front for the first time, and then the points clinched by Harvey Elliott right at the very end of the game. I think it's Harvey Elliott. I think the producer was trying to tell me that has now been given as an own goal.
Well, Sam, it wasn't on target, eh?
There we go. Who saw that?
Well, you've got better glasses on than I.
Szoboszlai out towards the right hand side.
The screen's right next to you, and I've got to reach across 2 chairs to see it. Thanks for sharing that, by the way.
Here we go. Didn't get a first-class seat on the train. The screen's not close enough to me.
It'll all come my way eventually. The more I do this.
Sorry, Diva. It's nice to be back with you, by the way.
Yeah.
You didn't return the compliment.
Thanks for letting me have a look at your screen.
Give over. We've got Adrian Durham around the grounds very shortly. All the fallout from this game. You'll hear from both managers a little bit later on. And then remember the phone in later with Gabby and Jamie O'Hara. Mark Goldbridge on later tonight. And Swansea against Cardiff. Big game on Talksport 2 this evening, 7:45. and that'll be an interesting listen. I wonder if Jurgen Klopp will be tuning into that one. Well, he's certainly tuned into the second half here, and he will be much happier with the display from his team, who were behind the 8 ball for much of the first 45 minutes. He didn't function at all well, but winning away from home and winning at 12:30, two habits that Liverpool had got out of recently, are good trends to start to form at the beginning of what they hope will be a campaign in which they can challenge Manchester City and others for honours this season. 101 minutes have been played by Michael Oliver, and I think most of the Wolverhampton Wanderers fans have already started to head back to their cars or the train station. They've got a head start on Martin Keown, because they know that the game is up and has been for some time. Gary O'Neill standing on the edge of the technical area with his arms folded, just watching as Neto takes the ball in from the left touchline and back towards Max Kilman. It could be a tough season. Their next fixture is Luton away, Ipswich away in the Cup, Manchester City at home and Aston Villa at home.
Just trying to respond there, Sam, to your trail of fixtures coming up for Wolves. But I think Luton, yes, got to win that game. Even at this stage of the season, there are games they have to win. If you were to lose against Luton, then you really would be. I mean, nothing against Luton, but at the moment, they're not in great shape, and Wolves have to beat them.
She'll hit you.
We'll get a complaint from the from the manager.
Here's Doherty down the right-hand side, trying to push the ball into the path of Fabio Silva. Liverpool got West Ham at home after this game in the Premier League. They've got Leicester in the Carabao Cup. That's also live on Talksport before games against Spurs and Brighton and Everton. They've got Virgil van Dijk to come back from suspension next time out. Gravenberch will be up to speed. Alexander-Arnold getting back to full fitness. There are more challenges awaiting Liverpool, but they've responded to this one. Outplayed in the first half, much better in the second. Liverpool didn't win a single early kick-off last season. They are already 1-for-1 this. The 16th Premier League game unbeaten for Jurgen Klopp, which indicates that Manchester City may have a significant challenger or two after all. Wolverhampton Wanderers were in this game. They were bossing this game up until the break, but tactical changes and personnel switches at half-time by the Liverpool manager have turned the tide. And Andrew Robertson and his punt return have also contributed to a second half performance which has yielded all 3 points for Liverpool. It's finished Wolves 1, Liverpool 3.
And I think, Martin Keown, that Wolves are going to be kicking themselves for not taking their chances in the first half, because it was that cliched game of two halves.
Yeah, very much so. And there was a great opportunity, wasn't there, for Cunha to score. Neto was really, I mean, he was tearing Gomez to shreds on this right-hand side, and he couldn't get his team into the dressing room quick enough, could he? Jurgen Klopp wanted to make changes, of course. McAllister, who uncharacteristically was giving the ball away so cheaply in that midfield, he needed to make the change, and he struck. The manager did, and then very quickly another couple of changes. Nunez coming on, injected that bit of extra energy. Liverpool get back into the game, and at that point it looked like it was just going to trail off as to a healthy draw. But for some reason, Sarr, in his wisdom, he sees something, he tries to kick it long, and then Robertson just quirks it out of the sky, and then he just travels forward, maybe inspired by the goal he scores against England in midweek, and in a similar position somehow manages to play a 1-2, tucks it away, and it was pretty well game over after that. Elliott, of course, scoring the third, and it's made to look comfortable, but Liverpool looks a bit rocky today.
It certainly wasn't comfortable, was it? It
wasn't comfortable, but that's character building. That's him building a new team, new set of main characters and people that are basically, you look at the Hendersons and the Milners, they've gone now. It's about a new group, and you learn, you grow together. And today you might look back at this game and say, we turned a corner there, and it could have gone horribly wrong today for Liverpool.
Yeah, certainly could have done. I'm glad it didn't go horribly wrong for you on your train journey here, even though it was unpleasant. But Diva Martin Keown, enjoy your train journey back. I'll see you on it.
Of course.
On Thursday, Liverpool in Europa League action. They travelled to Austria to face LASK. Live commentary on Talksport 2 on Saturday. Wolves in action on the Talksport network again. 3 p.m. kick-off away to Luton Town. Live commentary on Talksport 2. By the way, earlier on in Scotland, Rangers beat St Johnstone by 2-0. So the 12:30 hoodoo is over. Liverpool come from behind yet again to take all 3 points. They stay unbeaten this season, but it's another defeat for Wolves. It's finished Wolves 1, Liverpool 3 here at Molineux, and you can hear all the post-match reaction from this game with Sam Matterface, who's going to be speaking to Jurgen Klopp and Gary O'Neill very shortly. More live and exclusive Premier League football coming up over on Talksport 2 with Manchester United against Brighton. While here on Talksport, Adrian Durham's at the London Stadium for Game Day Live, taking you around the grounds.